What's happening, people? Welcome back to another episode of StoppageTime TV, live and direct in effect. You already know what time it is. We're here in the flesh.
Needed that.
We're good. We have FA Cup finalists. We have bottom half of the table.
Hey.
We have, I don't even know how to describe you, man. But I mean, a lot of people are here for your cooking, so we'll get to that. You know when you're cooking the meal, you gotta let it simmer.
The contrast right here. The contrasting moods.
You know when you're making jollof rice, like you know when you put the stew in, you just have to let it simmer. Just let it simmer for a bit. You come back, you go and do your washing.
Put the foil on.
Put the foil on top. We're gonna come back to you, but I mean, before we go any further, you already know what to do. Like, share, subscribe. If you're in here already, there's 500 odd people in here. Go on and smash the like button. Drop a comment. Make sure you tell your friends that we're live right now. We're ready to go. Understand? We wouldn't be here without you, and we need more of you. So go and like, share, subscribe, notifications on, go and do all of that good stuff. But without further ado, let's get into the show, man. We're going to do it different because obviously you guys played cup games. So if you're in the world and you did well this week, you had cup competition and you qualified for the next round, you got to a final, hold tight, the qualifier collectors.
The next round collectors, mate.
Final receptors.
The finalists.
Hold tight the 3-point collectors as well, wherever they are as well. Hold tight the teams that didn't play football this weekend.
No.
Just thumbs up.
We ain't holding nothing down.
Holds up. Hold tight the participants as well. Obviously, we can't do it without you. 2 teams.
Everyone's got to participate, man.
Trust me,
Everyone's got to participate.
But let's get into it, man. United. City. A final London. Talk to me. Let's talk through the emotions going through that game. Because, of course, when it got to pens, you were shaky about my man in yellow. You were shaky about his behaviour.
Oh, my God.
But, you know, I mean, let's talk about the game in totality. Going into the game, I think bookies had Brighton as favourites. I think a lot of United fans were like, we're going to get smoked. Mm-hmm. But talk to me about how you feel coming up the other side of this game, knowing that you could potentially walk away with this season with 2 trophies.
Ah, mate. It's a good feeling. First and foremost, all you United fans, you know, you're allowed to celebrate. You know what I mean? Job's not finished. Hype. You know what I mean? Job's not finished. Hype. You know, we got the AIs back there and that be moving a bit crazy. Do you know what I'm trying to say? But nah. Listen, you're allowed to celebrate today, man. Getting to the FA Cup final, going back to Wembley again. There'll be what? How many times we've been at Wembley this year? It'll be 3rd time at Wembley, because obviously including semi-final. Listen, it's a good feeling, man. It's a good feeling. You know, walking into the game, everyone thought Brighton are going to cook us. You know what I mean? Everyone thought. United fans thought it. Brighton fans thought it. The neutrals thought it. So listen, 0-0, it wasn't an impressive final. It was kind of a dead final. Semi-final, if we're honest. A bit of a dead game. But I actually thought we were going to get popped off and, you know what I mean, concede goals. And we end up sticking in there and then obviously winning on penalties. Listen, the feeling of winning on penalties is special. You know what I mean? You always feel a little bit different. But as I said, the only team, you know what I mean, there's all this talk about the City treble, right? There's all the talk about it. If Man United fans are here and talking about, we don't want City to win the treble, then United have it in their hands. United have it in their hands to try and stop it. You can directly stop Man City from winning the treble if you beat them in the final, right?
Mm-hmm. If Madrid...
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I'm just saying,
if
you want to talk about it, you put yourself in a position to defend your honour. Do that.
Yeah.
And so it's good, man. Listen, as I said, I don't hear no complaints if City go and do it. If Man United, you know what I mean? If Man United weren't there to try and stop it at least, you know what I mean? So listen, I'm happy to be in the final. Contrasting mood from the Sevilla game.
Damn.
But hey, you know what I mean? 2 finals in your first season as a manager. We'll take that.
On Ten Hag, because ultimately there was... The selection is the selection, right? I mean, we were watching the game. There was a few question marks of like Bruno coming off, Workhorse coming on. In totality, like, because United fans are like, there's like an echo chamber with United fans where it can either be very left or very right. There's never like any balance.
It's hard to be when you're a big club like this. It's like that.
No, 100%. But it's like there's always extremes. Like there's people that were probably calling for his head for the game. There are people now that are saying that he's changed their life. Like, in your perspective, like, what is an accurate description of where we are at with Ten Hag in the United season? Because I'll give you credit. I think it was probably about 2 months ago. You were saying, given that the squad depth, given the sort of the way you've had to play, there's going to get a part to the season where, especially because those games in February,
it's going to hit us.
It's going to hit, which looks like right about now. But you've got to another final. You're managing to work with players that are still not firing on all cylinders. Your key players are still playing at their drunk. Like, what would be an accurate description of Ten Hag's first season?
Look, it's a good first season. It's a good first season. You're on course to potentially win 2 trophies and get top 4. My expectation for the start of the season was top 4 and a trophy. We're in the balance for that. You know what I mean? Listen, I'm still worried about top 4. I know Spurs, we're going to get onto them, but 120 minutes under the belt today. Spurs away on Thursday, I believe. Villa on Sunday. The games keep coming for us, man, and it's not easy. But it's a good first season. I said it on the episode after we went out against Sevilla. I said the only way I'm going to turn on Ten Hag is if I don't see serious, aggressive transfer activity this summer. And that includes sales. People need to leave. People need to come in. I need to see serious aggressiveness. Because yes, look, if you can get us to 2 finals and get top 4 with this squad, you're a good manager. We know that. But we still need an overhaul. I don't care what nobody says. Even if we win the FA Cup final, this club, this squad needs to change. You know what I'm saying? 100%. So happy right now. But the bigger picture still need to make changes. But it's a good first season. You know, there's some people calling for his head and all of this type of stuff, but everyone gets emotional. Man United fans get emotional. Good first season, a lot to improve on. But yeah, that's all.
He's the right man for the right.
Oh, he's the right man for the job. Of course, right now he's the right man for the job. But summer is huge. I keep saying, summer is the time where you can now put your full mold on what you want this squad to look like. Yeah. This season, all right, I'm working with Ollie players, I'm working with this man, I'm working with that man, cool. You're trying to make people happy who were starters in the previous regime and blah, blah, blah. Next season, everyone knows the deal. You can say, I want this person, you got to go. I've seen you for a year, you're not good enough. I need to see that. If I don't see that, then it's scary.
I got 2 things there, because ultimately, I hear what you're saying, but how much control does this one person have on the coming ins and going outs of personnel if it comes down to...
What was that, sorry?
How much influence can he have on like forcing players out the door if the board don't fully back him with what he wants to do?
This is the issue.
Because there's already rumours now, and I said a few months ago, I said, what if the Glazers look at what he's doing and go, if he's managing to operate right, why would we sell now?
Yeah. Hey, listen, it's hard, isn't it? Obviously, with the Glazers situation and stuff, it'll be hard for him. But at the same time, then if that's going to happen, people might say, well, what's the point? But I want to see you demand.
Yep.
Demand. Put pressure on them so the fans can put more pressure.
Yep.
Let's everyone get in and go in the right direction. What I don't want to see is, United signed 3 players. Oh, we had to keep this person. I'm happy with my squad. I think this squad can compete for the title next season.
What about when you hear him talk about De Gea's new contract?
Yeah, that's the stuff that frustrates you. You get what I'm trying to say? You just want to hear him demand. You just want to hear him say, I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that. That's
cool.
all. You know what I mean? That's how the fans will get behind him.
That's what he wants and whatnot. We've got production. We're going to Super Chats in a minute, but let's do this activity, right? We did it for Chelsea a while back. Let's go through the United squad, okay? So De Gea, keep or get rid of?
Of course, I'm getting rid of De Gea.
Wan-Bissaka played well today.
Yeah, he played well. He's a good backup. I mean, if you're looking at backup. I don't like the term backup. It's really harsh.
Because he played well, but I thought, everybody was talking about Matoma, scholar of dribbling. Yeah, he's going to school Wan-Bissaka today.
What did I say? Listen.
I don't know if everybody saw that, but Matoma was in shackles today. Listen, I didn't see much of Matoma.
Wan-Bissaka said, you know what I mean? He said, listen, I ain't going to...
Yeah. What did Infinity Stone.
What did Wiley say? I don't feel captured.
Hey, listen.
Wan-Bissaka said, I don't feel captured.
Listen.
That line is crazy.
I don't feel captured.
Well, Wan-Bissaka don't respect nobody unless you give him 40. You know what I mean? Unless you give him 40, he don't respect you. You know what I mean? He prides himself on defense. You know what I mean?
Mentality. I respect it.
He don't respect no one unless you give him 40. Listen, Vinny. You're next. You're next.
When? How?
The end game.
Champions League. We're in the Champions League next season. Come on, respect us, man. We're not you, man, bro. We're in the Champions League next season. You know what I'm trying to say?
Listen, there's still time, you know.
But no. Look, we'll do that. We'll do that another time. Let's do that another time. Let's do that another time. Yeah, let's do that another time.
He wants to protect
it could be a long one, bro.
Yeah.
All right, calm. Let's talk about the game in general, though. Like, I thought Brighton looked good. Brighton are a good side, man. Like, they are a good footballing side, but I just feel like Heritage carried you through, man. De Gea, though, let's talk De Gea quickly. Like,
Hey.
we got to talk on him because has he ever saved a penalty in a shootout for you guys?
Yo, I don't remember when he saved the penalty, but I thought it was about to be the repeat of the Villarreal game. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes he goes in this right direction, can't get a hand on it. Next time he just getting sent. Bro, at one point, Brighton players must have just said, hey, yo, by the way, everyone go to De Gea's left. Go to our right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just go to our right. And they were just slotting it there. And Solly March, I don't know, he didn't get their plan. I guess Weghorst, when he kissed the ball, it disorientated him a little bit. But honestly, De Gea and penalty shootouts, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
But I mean, I get the commentators were saying that he played well in the game or whatnot. But for me, I don't see how any team or a defensive unit can have confidence knowing that a goalkeeper behind you can be so timid at times. And now when you think about it, today you played against Brighton, who had Welbeck up top, who's been indifferent and whatnot, with a centre-back partnership of Luke Shaw and... You played with Luke Shaw. How's my head gone funny? Luke Shaw and...
Lindelof.
So imagine if, like... Okay, that's what you'd have to deal with. Imagine you have to take that to play with City. You think Haaland's not rat-a-tad the ball for fun?
Like, listen, it's in the finals, you need luck. You know what I mean? You need luck. You know what I mean? Like... When we've won finals before, we've had luck. So in those type of games, somebody asked me a question, actually. I actually thought Brighton would beat Man United, but somebody asked me a question like, Cam, who do you think will actually have a better chance of beating Man City? And I said United. Even though I thought we would lose to Brighton, I said I think United. But simply why? Because of derby tax. Form goes out the window in a derby. You know what I mean? That's the only mood that we can go into. You know what I mean? So you never know what could happen in a final. Am I thinking we're going to win it? Probably not. But we go for it, man. You go for it. You go for it.
Last couple of years
we beat City this season. Can we remember that? We beat City this season. You know what I'm saying? So, listen, it's not the impossible dream. You know what I mean? It could be done. We're not playing, you know what I'm saying? It's not the impossible dream. It can be done.
I said, anything is possible.
Bro, it could be done. It could be done.
You sounding different from last week, though, huh?
What do you mean?
Your tone changed a lot in the last few days about it can be done now.
It can be done. I don't remember
what talking about this. Top 4 is in danger.
Top 4 is in danger.
Our season is capitulating. Get across the finish line.
Things change quickly, huh?
I can't speak optimistically.
United are in that weird space, man. Where every week, if you were to call it every single day, you would have something else. You have something because it's like people are scared of like how good things could get or how bad things could get. And I guess for a lot of United fans, Rashford almost epitomizes that in so many ways because it's like, oh my gosh, he doesn't look like he's there. But he's the one guy that maybe produce a moment. Like, I think he epitomizes where you guys are at. Like, when it's going great, it's brilliant. But when it's not going great...
Bro, you got to listen. The thing is,
it's a long season,
you have
man.
To, bro, you have to be...
As well.
It's the first season. And obviously, look, I always say it's hard for managers to come to Manchester United, and get the full support of the fan base. Because, one... This fan base, they always seem to have a tie to a certain manager or a certain player, and that manager might not like this player or whatever. It's always just politics in this fan base. But look, I don't even you guys know Lee Gunner, right? You guys know Lee Gunner. He always says Arsenal are 19 years behind schedule, right? Because they ain't won the title in 19 years. That is actually how you can feel with the Man United fan base. As much as the fan base always want to say, this is a process and this is the progress, and we still feel in the back of our mind, it's been 10 years since we won a title. It's been 10 years since we've competed for a title. So there's always that impatience that comes into it as well. You know what I mean? And as I said, I'm fully, and you can check my other content, I'm fully behind Ten Hag, but by August, I will have my full judgment on it as well, because, bro, you have this summer to change, to do big things here. So let's see.
No, it makes sense, man. It makes sense. I'm just thinking about this game. Obviously, it's a big moment. Top 4, you guys ain't playing the Premier League this week, so I don't want to go too much in that. But I mean, fair play to... We were having this conversation about, off in production about Brighton, Zebri and everything. And Fuad made a really interesting point about we can't give too much hype to managers. Like, it's fair play he's doing what he was doing. But I mean, credit where it's due. If you look at the players that he's brought in, the fact that they're getting to semi-finals, the fact that they're competing to try and get to Europe, is a good look for them.
He's actually taken what Potter had as like a foundation and took it up a level. Give him credit for what is due. Where Brighton are competing this year, they probably hadn't seen themselves in previous years. They might even do it for like short spells at the start of the season or whatever. But for a sustained and a FA Cup semi-final, it can always be happy with that. But I don't want it to become a thing where it's starting to feel like now De Zerbi is almost like the flavour of the month. Every top job available there, he's being linked with, and it's like, bro, a year or two ago, he's at Shakhtar. Nobody knew who the hell he was. He's done a great job now. I'm actually curious to see, like, can he maintain this with Brighton next year? What can he do with Brighton? Maybe if he takes him to the Europa League, can he do a, you know, like West Ham have done, 2 back-to-back semi-finals? Can you do a little bit of a late run? Because you have the talent and the quality there. So if they stay an extra year, can that Brighton team, because everyone goes off like Brighton are just going to happily sell their pieces in the summer. It's like, no. What if they stay another year? So I don't know. I'm as much as I like what he's doing, I don't at the same time want to go too overboard. But you got to give him credit. Even today, I thought they actually gave a decent account of themselves, kind of where you could say Heritage might roll them over or whatever. But no, they actually made a good game of it.
Go on, bro.
The thing with Brighton is that obviously you got to take it one season really at a time. You know what I mean? See where you are, because what have we always said on this show? We've seen so many of these type of clubs go to finals or almost get top 4 or overachieve, and next thing you know, within a year and a half, that manager's sacked. They're nearly in relegation.
Leicester in a relegation.
Leicester, we've seen it with Leicester and
West
Brendan.
Ham.
David Moyes and West Ham. Even to a smaller extent. What did Sheffield United do during the lockdown? That man was 8th. They finished 8th. They got relegated next season. I'm not saying Brighton are going to get relegated, by the way, but I'm just saying, like, next is, as you just mentioned, let's see them as a Europa League club. See what they can do. Do they sell? Their recruitment's really hyped up? Are they going to bring in more pieces? What do we see from that?
If you look at Brighton's like tenure in the Premier League, they went through the come under Chris Hughton, be a relegation club competing.
Glenn Murray, 10 goals a season.
Glenn Murray, 10 goals a season. Then they've become the pretty football mid-table club. Now I feel like with De Zerbi, they've taken that next step now where it's like, all right, now we have top talents. We have some European football.
They got World Cup winner in their squad.
Absolutely. So I want to see this next step of Brighton. And if he is the manager that everybody says he is, he should be able to kind of...
You know, some clubs operate different. That's the thing. Some clubs operate in a different way. So Brighton obviously sell to make profit, innit? They sell players, you know what I'm saying? So this summer, it could be a free-for-all, but they probably trust their recruitment team to go and get the next one. But in a similar way to Dortmund, in a similar way to even, you said Shakhtar, and these type of clubs that, and then we're going to sell them on. Who else have done that? Porto do that. Benfica do that.
Ajax.
I know these guys win their leagues as well in their countries, but there are clubs that have development clubs. And Brighton, they'll go and sell Caicedo, who was fantastic today. What a player. McAllister, another one. And then they'll just go and bring in a next one. But we don't know what it means for them as a club going forward.
I guess the question is, do they have to sell as well? I mean, they probably fleeced Chelsea of like 100 mil combined. They got money from Trossard this summer. They don't have to sell.
Trossard, how much was that?
Was that, what?
20 mil, 18 mil?
And then you've got someone with Matoma to come in. Like they can make money quickly. So it's like, do they have to sell the top talents going into a European
Even
cup?
if they sell, for me, it's sell one. Let's say
you don't need to sell loads.
Let's say a Caicedo. You don't need to sell 3 or 4 pieces. For me, I think the best thing Brighton should do, keep De Zerbi for as long as you can. Keep as much of this squad together for as long as you can, for me.
And grow for a little bit. I'll use that as a segue to go and talk about our Premier League stuff, but let's do Super Chats quickly.
I don't feel like I got enough of a congratulations from you guys for reaching the final.
I mean, our production.
Do you know what I mean?
Job not finished.
You know what I mean?
Job
not finished. Hype. You know what I mean? I feel like we just need a congratulations.
Job's not finished.
You know what? The worst thing is, I feel like this season I'm carrying this show, guys. When it comes to success, I'm carrying this. You fell off big time.
Yeah, because I fell off.
I remember in school, you used to be the man.
In high school, you was the man, homie. Fuck up under you.
You fell off.
I was always here for vibes.
Bro,
Listen,
I carry
this show.
You're that OG that, he's out of pen now, yeah? Oh, shit. He was always destined for Ben.
I've carried this show for so long.
Carried hype. I need just a bit of praise, you know? What do you think about Manchester United? What do you think? Guys, you guys always ask me, what do you guys think about Manchester United?
I told you, I feel like United, given the clout of the club, the massive fans, just like all of the personalities and everything, it's either one or another. People can't fail to see that, you know what if we're just in the middle? And it's hard because when you've got Arsenal trying to win a league, you've got Man City doing stuff, you've got Liverpool that have fallen off and everything, then you lose to Liverpool. Your senses are always going up, down, up, down. But football's a sport which is based on the season. The season ends when you play the final game. When you get to that point, you can assess everything going backwards. And as of where we stand right now, if you told United that in Ten Hag's first season, he will have to deal with not being able to have a talented footballer in his squad because of reasons we can't talk about. He'll have to get rid of one of the greatest servants of Starsby in the club. You have to go and loan a guy from Besiktas to then be like, you walk away with top 4 and 1 trophy. You say, you know what, I'll take that. The potential of 2 trophies changes it even more. So I feel like ultimately football, fans are fanatic, innit? You get excited. But if you sit down and assess where United are, you can't really fault it. Like, they're doing what they need to do at this point of this journey.
Thank you.
That's the reality of it.
Next, Fuad, please. Hey, look, because you know what? When it comes to United, they always just say, Cam, what do you think? And then after I say my bit, and then everyone just moves along. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're the
I need to hear each person's views.
They be out here saying, I'm a United undercover fan.
Nah, don't try. You're a United hater. You're a United hater. Yeah, you are. You're a Pepite now. You're become a Pepite. You have.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah.
Pep is an
Guy
incredible
starts mixing
manager.
around a couple Pepites, and now he's a. You know what I mean?
I like the way the ball moves across the field.
What's your take on Manchester United season, mate?
Listen, Ten Hag is the truth. I said it the day he walked in. I said it when all of you were shaking around. I said he's the truth. Under Ten Hag's tenure, United will 100%, in my opinion, be competing for Premier League titles. Whether it's next year or the year after, I probably think next year you lot will close the gap a lot sooner. The only thing I'm probably not disappointed with Ten Hag is he hasn't got a more fluid style of play. I thought maybe come December times, I thought we were starting to get some of that. But then January, February, for some reason, that all went out of the window and it was kind of back to basics type of thing. His in-game management sometimes as well been a little bit. You've got Poch tendencies about you making the wrong subs and
And
at
that
the
away
wrong time.
record as well.
hideous.
Yeah.
That's real Poch.
Yeah. So me personally, I think, listen, if things are going as they should be for United, competing for top 4, FA Cup was expected, Carabao was expected for me, these final runs. Europa League, I think that's a sour one. He's got to hold that one.
Yeah,
But I
definitely.
always say every manager needs that harsh lesson in their first season. Wherever
He's had a few.
Guess what? You've had a couple of them big licks as well. And I feel like maybe down the line, we'll look back at those as like, how has he learned from those? So next season, I want to see some of them big games. How
It can't happen
he reacts
again.
is- Yeah.
What I would say
100%.
to that though, is I think apart from those, you know, that early part where he lost the 2 first games or whatever. After that, each time you've lost,
We bounce back
you
well.
bounce back well.
Hey, but let's
the
stop
thing
getting
is, you
smashed.
can't. But I'm saying, but you can't go through those periods where
Yeah.
you have to get smashed for something to then kick force. But again,
Yeah.
if you have better depth, better players, better people that understand, and you don't have people that you just are tolerating, you may get that. But I feel like ultimately, when I look at United, even when I look at Arsenal, we'll get back to later, like, you just have to understand where you are in the present moment. Like, you can't just be hyper. I get because you're riding with the emotions, but sometimes you just got to look at it and be like, all right, cool. But I mean, I'll hold at United. I mean, that City game's going to be a juicy
It's
one.
going to be hard. It's going to be tough, boy.
They are a good side. They are a good side. They've beat the whole we can't play with Haaland allegations. Like, City are good,
back
man.
allegations.
I saw you said something about this is probably the most impressed you've been with Pep.
I said it could be. It's an impressive season. It could be one of his most impressive.
Pep loading.
Nah, you madman. No, it could
Talk
be.
to me about how you're impressive, Pep.
Wait, who is this guy?
Talk. Who do you
Who are these niggas?
Shut up.
We need to start getting rid of these niggas.
Wait, hold on. What, the Jello fries? Let's turn up the heat a little bit.
My boy's getting a bit cocky over there.
We're coming to cook the
Yo,
rice.
man, we're coming for you, bro. No, relax. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We're coming to cook the
started
rice.
sitting up like, yo, what do you sit back down, bro?
Man.
Tuck into that chair, brother.
Man. Get comfortable.
What do you
get
mean,
comfortable.
bro?
Get comfortable.
What do you mean? All right. Anyway.
Quickly on the Pep one.
It's impressive, man. It's impressive what he's doing. The reason why I said it's impressive is because he's had to do a lot of adjusting mid-season. I think more than he has had to do in any other season. You know what I mean? He had players that were way off it. He had to get them find ways of getting them back to their optimal. He called out KDB. He called out Kyle Walker. He called out Phillips. He brought in Rico Lewis just as an example for these guys. He had to dash Cancelo. He's started bringing in this inverted John Stones into midfield. He's had to do so much tinkering to alter for his team to succeed this season. You know what I mean? Oh, the whole can the Haaland thing work out? Now, I'm not going to praise you to the high heavens for making Haaland work out. But at the same time, there was a phase where I was looking at City ain't playing as well. Is it because of Haaland, blah, blah? He's dispelled that. Let's not forget, he's had to get Grealish up to scratch as well. You can obviously credit Grealish himself, but at the same time, he's found ways of getting the best out of them by playing some mad unorthodox formation. What is it, 3-2-4-1?
Something like that.
Man just did anything to find the best way for his players to work out, and he's found it. And here comes the title charge. But we got other things, so we'll talk about that in a bit. You know
Let's
what I
go
mean?
super chat. Let's go super chats.
He's still ducking.
We doing the song?
Pep needs new haters, man. They're all
we
turning
need
into
to-
fans, bro.
We need to get the little soundboard to do the song for us, man. Singing super chat.
I ain't even singing it.
That's what I'm saying. Let's go
Let's
in
go.
super chats, man.
Asthma Pump 47 donates 14 ZAR towards Cam's getting
What country is that?
South African.
Zar.
Let's do a quiz. What country is ZAR?
ZDR. Zimbabwe.
South African rubles.
Anyway, what did he do?
Rand, that's it, yeah.
Z. Where does Z come from? though?
ZA, South Africa. Come on, man.
What's he
He
sending money for?
donates it towards Cam's getting a t-shirt that fits.
This t-shirt don't fit. This t-shirt don't fit.
They think
you
it
try-
looks
you
tight.
try-
They be
trying to
praising.
look extra soul
They
in
be,
the gym and
they be
shit, but all
praising
he
me
does is look
nowadays.
extra tight.
All of this stuff, man's wearing larges. They want me to come in. They want me to come in something that's coming down to my knees. What do you want from me, guys? You know what I mean? Sorry.
They're saying that you're wearing that. You know, back in the day, the Chelsea kits, the Climacol. You know, it used to come like
Spandex.
Yeah, saying
you
you're wearing
said-
them things. Base layer. Go on. What's the next one?
Onzo the super.
African Rand hype.
Big up South Africa. I'm your piano on that. Stoppage time on tour. You get me?
Hey, you ain't outside. That's why we'll bring you out this summer, man. We'll bring you out this summer.
listen,
Don't worry.
please.
We'll bring you out this summer. We'll bring you out this summer.
I'm not involved.
Let's go. Let's go.
Onzo says, I need to see AWB versus Vinny battle. That was
Yeah, hey,
super chat.
listen, we'll be
I'll be
there.
box office.
Vinny thinks it's real. Vinny, this ain't Reece James. Come on.
Damn.
Tite Kudia says, Fuad Abdullahi Kadani rise.
Hey, I can't lie. That trend that started. Bro, it's
Yeah,
too funny.
you see, I tweeted.
That trend that started
yeah.
is too funny.
I tweeted Fuad Abdullah Kadani.
That's it. Full stop.
And people start saying, "Oh shit, you got his government."
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know, but it fits. If the shoe, he looks like an Abdullah. If the shoe fits.
Do you remember last time when I did Fuad Shaquille Kadani? I said his name is
Man
Shaquille.
said, Abdullah, bitch. Nah, don't kill me.
Hey, Abdullah, hey, that's the first
too funny,
thing that came to my mind, man.
What else we got?
J. Ashley Martin with a super chat says, Cam's is spot on, still need an overhaul. Sancho played decent today, but what Eric Ten Hag is doing is superb. And Fuad, what was that attempted excuse today?
Oh, the tweet.
That's Ebola, you know. Where's your mask? Where's your mask?
I
Go on, what else
was
we got?
looking for anything.
And then the last
Man
one,
tried to taste
COVID's too
he tried to
soon.
taste ACL. Man said, what's that?
I was looking for a mouth.
the last one by Dodo77 says, Cam, harsh if Qatar don't buy, no Kane, no goalkeeper, freebies now.
I've heard things, but I can't reveal. I've heard things,
Cam's sources.
but I can't reveal.
I didn't know you're one of those ITK guys.
Hey, you know, nowadays
You need to dib and
information be coming in.
Industry's
You know what I mean? But I don't tweet. I
Forgot, man. Your
like
friend,
that.
your pally with the squad and that.
You know what I'm saying? Dallo, hey, he promised me we're going to get to the final. He bagged his penalty. He said, I'm wearing this 99 FA Cup final top for a reason because I want to be there. Well done, mate. You know what I mean?
Job's not finished though.
I'll drop you a little text later on, mate.
job's not
I'll
finished.
give him a little
Well done.
FaceTime.
Well done.
I'll hit him on the FaceTime bit later on, you know what I mean?
I said it's just gonna be ringing. Hey, listen, man. The main event, man. You already know what time it is.
Hey, they're saying we got a cut.
What? What? Fire alarm? What? Fire alarm?
Government hitting us with
Fire alarm.
the government hitting us with the thing, yeah?
They said we got a wrap.
Nah, I thought there was a fire alarm. No, we're good, man. It's just a drill. It's just a drill. It's finished.
It's just a
How
drill.
are you? How are you? You can't talk.
Yeah, now he's lost his voice. But he wanted to hear about Pep.
Yeah.
He lost
You
his
had something to
voice.
say.
Yeah,
I was more interested in that than
Talk to us,
anything.
brother.
Well, you're not interested in other things?
What do you not want to talk?
How have you found the sporting weekend? Like you know, there's been a lot of sport, and how have you found it?
Yo, Clippers game was crazy. Russ, honors ones.
More L's for you.
PG,
Yeah.
another L.
More L's, yeah.
Tank. Good fight.
Great fight. Great little shot, you know. Remind me of the first couple minutes of that game.
We call him Big Tank now. Back then he was Little Tank.
Now
But
it's Big Tank. But
call him Big Tank.
Eid on Friday as well. That was pretty good. Did you not see any of that?
Eid Mubarak and that. Yeah.
Eid Mubarak, everyone out
good?
there watching? Alhamdulillah. Yo, daytime eating.
SDS, link up to eat. Eat for iftar. We're all linking up for iftar.
Man, I want to see Aki celebrating the last day. Look at these haters. Listen.
So you ate well.
Listen,
You ate good on Friday, yeah?
We was eating good on Friday.
How did you eat today?
Listen, today, I don't even know where to start.
Okay,
So you have to start from somewhere.
Listen, it was 5-0, but in 20 minutes, mate. Yeah, I mean, it was 5-0 in 20 minutes. So tell us actually the story.
Did you see the first goal?
Bro,
You didn't?
Let me,
You didn't see the first goal?
Let me tell you how the first goal happened. So you know the game's kicking off usually. So you're thinking, yo, you know what? I might have time to make a quick cup of tea. Daytime, you know. Now we could drink in the day.
What's your go-to?
Yo.
English breakfast.
Bass in your voice. Bass in your voice.
Yeah.
Can we get him some water, please?
So-
Yeah, bass in your voice.
Can we get
So I
some
thought,
water?
yo, let me quickly stick the kettle on. As I've poured the water in the kettle, I'm hearing, thinking, fuck. So I come running back in, literally half still full with water, 1-0 down. I said, motherfucker, we can't even get comfortable before the fuckery begins already. So I said, let me go quickly finish this off. When I tell you, by the time I'd put my milk in and my tea bag was out, we were 3-0 down. You might be thinking it takes me 9 minutes to make a cup of tea. I like my tea dark.
You like to
So,
drink
so
tea?
I had to let it
Well,
sit for a minute.
Nah, don't worry. Go.
I don't know where he was going with that.
Yeah.
But within 9 minutes, bro, and I'm sorry, there's no like tactical analysis here. There's no breakdown of, this was the first time we played 4 at the back in, I think, 2.5 years. And I think you saw prime example of why we are incapable of playing 4 at the back. And I'll be guilty. I was one of those that was saying, hey,
Call
man,
for it.
some games, you know, let's at least try and flex a little something. And then we were gently reminded today, we have complete and utter bozos in that defense. I'm sorry, but that performance for me is easily one of the top 3 worst performances I've seen from any team, let alone a Spurs team. And I know you had the 7-0, but from 20 minutes, all of that to happen, I've never seen a capitulation of that magnitude.
It's a lot of goals in 20 minutes.
Bro,
I was saying that.
It's the manner of the goals. It's
Yeah.
how weak every...
Yeah.
Poro sleeping at right back.
We're gonna talk about
Romero,
that signing.
Sloppy.
Yeah, we're gonna talk
Dyer,
about him as well.
sleeping.
We're gonna talk about Romero as
Perisic,
well.
sleep.
Yeah.
Like, no matter where you looked at, no matter what name you picked out today, they had a mistake. They had some kind of fuckery they did. Stellini, Mason on the bench, clueless pair. Half time, as I said last week, you're down in a game. Your tactical tweak. Let me go 3 at the back, bring Sanchez on at half time.
Half time, he brought him on. Before he brought him on
First change up.
36 minutes.
So I'm like, once again, showing your complete tactical ineptness. As I said last week, bro, this is for me not just a result of like today or whatever. This is a culmination of 22 years of failures coming up to one day, if you like. And this is like board level failure. This is recruitment level failure. This is managerial level failure, player level failure. A failure on every single... This club is
festival of
rotten.
failures.
Bro, it's... You know when the rot has gone from top to bottom and there's no quick fix to this as well.
The fans are affected as well.
The fans
are failures.
The fans are even... I'll be real with you. The fans, I understand all their frustrations. Every single Tottenham fan right now, no matter what they're arguing about, they're nail on the head. Because there's no one problem. They want to talk about the players. Every single one of those clowns could be sold this summer. I could not give a shit. Every single one of them. Manager, I don't even know who we're linked with. We're hoping Nagelsmann turns down Chelsea. Just so we can get
What
him
is
out of here.
going on with Spurs' managerial search?
We don't know. We don't know. And this is what's going to happen in the summer. It's going to be a big 20 managerial merry-go-round. Bro, when I said this summer after Kane leaves, because there is no way he sticks around after this,
You'd
the
be surprised.
abyss that we're going to, it's going to be a 2-3 year minimum comeback. This is a failure as a club, failure as an institution. Brother, no Premier League club has stagnated more than Tottenham Hotspurs in the entire Premier League history. At least, even if you're a Palace fan, even if you're a West Ham fan, Brentford fan, you will go down. You will have your relegation year. But guess what? I get 1 year of championship where I'm dominating. I lift a bit of silver. I see a bit of happiness. You tell me what happiness Spurs fans have seen in 22 years. And don't tell me a Carabao Cup. Because trust me, that shit was fleeting. There is no sustained happiness
this is
in
like
support.
therapy.
It's almost like a social experiment at this point, I feel like, being a Spurs fan, where it's like, yo, how far can we push these, man? How far can we make this a failure? To see where their mental threshold can take them. Because for me, here's all I'll say. If you have a Spurs fan who's a friend, if you have a Spurs fan who's a family member, Spurs fan at work, this week, just do yourself a favor and just check in on them. This, rather than letting them talk to Frank, because more than likely a lot of us are going to turn to drugs this week. What? Talk to a friend, put an arm around him. What? We are all going to need support. Emotional, mental.
Let's go and give him a hug. Come, let's go give him a hug.
This is going to
give him a hug.
require a lot.
Let's give him a hug.
Not just this week,
him a hug.
but for the next few months,
Let's give him a hug. Let's give
the
him a hug.
next few years,
Group hug. Group hug.
the next decade. I'm sick of this fucking club.
We got you.
We got you, brother.
We got you, man.
We
Keep
got
that
you.
up,
Big man
man.
ting.
Bro, I'm sick of these, man.
We're gonna
got
cook
you.
you.
I'm sick of these, man.
We got you, man.
I'm sick.
Yeah, we got you. We're gonna cook you. We're gonna cook you, but we got you. We got you.
I mean,
We
listen.
got you. Listen, man.
Be healthy, man. You're all right.
What
you
did
know
the
what I mean?
Jamaican say? I saw it go.
Huh? Yeah, I saw it go. I mean, you'll be cool.
Yeah, exactly, man. So, man.
Don't worry, man. Listen, we don't promote drugs,
yeah, we don't promote-
drug usage on this channel.
Yeah, we don't.
You know what I mean? But that was a crazy story. I mean, I thought I was about to hear you say, and then a nigga swung his body.
Nigga swung his. It had me in the full
swung his body.
to the side.
I was waiting for the dramatic stuff to come out. You know what I'm saying? Hey, listen,
Hey, that's
listen.
too bad, man. But on the road, you see this abyss you're talking about, yeah? I've come to a place with football, yeah. I just like to look at things in totality, you know. The issue that Spurs have, yeah, is I hear your point about any club stagnating, but you guys were in the Champions League final how many seasons ago? Mm-hmm. You couldn't be further away from that if possible. Bro. And then the issue you've got is Pochettino, whether people love him or hate him or whatnot, he was in his tenure. He tried stuff. He implemented a style of play somewhat. He then went to this model where it was like win by all costs, no style of football. We're just going to counter-attack and everything. And that you can see it year after year after year. Things are getting worse and worse and worse and worse. There's no identity in your club. And you just have to look at the Premier League, right? People say that Villa are in a good spell of form, yeah? Mm-hmm. But when you break it down, they have Emery, who's a good manager. They have a board that wants to spend money. They've invested money from someone that they've sold. Their situation,
I like that.
What?
Hashtag hug a spud. Hug a spud. Hey, listen, if you know a spud, hey, bring out the chat. If you know a spud, listen, this is a PSA. Yeah. If you know a spud today, go and hug your mate. Go and hug your mate. Fuad just dropped a cipher. 22 years of pain. If you know a spud, go and hug him. Hashtag hug a spud. When this episode finished, I want to go to my Twitter and see hug a spud. You know what I mean? Hug a spud. Also, I love that one. I love it.
It's very important that, you know, content creators are in the space. They do a lot. They put themselves on the front line. And it's been a very, very tough time. So if you're a friend of Expressions, Tapping Tobes, Fuad Kadani, Liam Heath.
Be careful with Tobes though, because I saw that video of him boxing. You know what I mean? Yo, be careful. He might land the uppercut on somebody. You know what I mean?
Javonte Davis.
Be careful. Listen, hug a spud, but approach with caution. Approach with caution, please.
Hey, listen, man. As I was saying, Villa are a club where they've got a manager that's a very good manager.
Yeah.
When they've sold their asset and they've reinvested in their team. You've got Brightons that do things in a different way. The way the Premier League dynamic is changing is that Tottenham can find themselves in a space where top 4, top 5 isn't a birthright anymore. Mm-hmm. Spurs have always been in a situation where they can struggle their way into contention. You can't do that with the way the league is going anymore. Chelsea have fallen off. We will come back somewhat next year. Liverpool are always going to be in and around. But these new clubs are closer to you than you are closer to the top clubs. And that's what's worrying.
Yep.
There's a big divide happening now, and you have to deep it like this. This is not where Spurs wanted to be. You don't invest in a new stadium to play this football. You don't invest in a new stadium to not get Champions League football. You don't invest in a new stadium to just be this team that just floats about.
Bro, we are more an entertainment and hosting facility than we are an actual sporting club, bro. Like, in reality, that's how I think most Spurs fans now have accepted. All of this you're talking about, how these clubs will sell assets and then reinvest. Those are clubs that actually have chairmans. The Brighton chairman and the Villa chairman both actually give a shit about their teams and actually want to see them, even if they're not going to win stuff, let me at least give the fans something to enjoy. Levy does not give two shits about any Spurs fan, I'm sorry. All he cares about is money coming into that club. Who am I hosting this summer? Have I got NFL? Have I got Beyonce? Have I got Davido?
Wizkid.
Okay, Wizkid? What other deals can we cut? But none of that will you see be reinvested into the squad. For the longest, you were talking about the 2019 Champions League. We saved money during that period, spending zero, got to a Champions League final. Since then, we're still not in the top 6 or 7 in terms of spending. That doesn't say to me an ambitious chairman. Then we had the excuse of, oh shit, stadium's open now, COVID, we don't have any income. The past 2 years, I've been seeing income. Stadium's been wide open. We've been getting all these venues. Where's the funds for that? We saw this January, just now, it was dry. You had Conte, a once-in-a-lifetime manager who's winning in his peak right now. How did you back him? You gave him... not for me.
We'll go
Not
into
for
the
me.
players.
I'm sorry, he wasn't...
Do you know what? We'll go back to the game, but do you know why Spurs are weird for me? Yeah? Because if you're not spending, but you have an influx of young talent, it's one thing. It's like, okay, youth. You know, like with Chelsea that season, youth. They've just got OFB and that. That's not really youth. We've been through that.
Yeah.
And then it's not that the talent idea or scouting is of sublime nature. You can bring these guys for cheap and do something. So it's like, I don't know what Spurs want to be.
Yeah.
Bro, look,
They want to be a big club, they want to be winners and a big club, but they do it in a fraudulent way. You're not going to do it the way that Spurs try and do it. You know what I mean? But Daniel Levy seems to think that they can be that way, but he doesn't have the actions to suggest that. Do you get where I'm coming from? So, it's just people like Eric Dyer, for example. You see people like Maguire's and Rob Holdings and stuff getting put in a box where they're the worst defenders ever or whatever. Fam, Eric Dyer is terrible, bro. Awful. Yeah, I mean, Eric Dyer, you see his pass into the midfield today and before the goal. He seems to get away with murder, you know.
I've got some. I want to read.
I saw Davinson Sanchez getting booed. Yo, Dyer needs to be getting booed.
I want to read something, yeah? So, hold tight, Ollie Spence that tweeted this. It says, cast your mind back to the 15th of May 2016. Spurs have lost 5-1 at St. James's Park. Not a single player from Newcastle's squad remains at the club. For Spurs, do you want to guess how many?
Let me guess, 5.
5.
Voila. And
4 of them were starting as well.
Lloris, Dyer,
Kane,
Son.
Højbjerg? No, Højbjerg.
No, Sanchez wasn't there.
Skip?
Nah, Skip was too young.
I don't even
name me the others.
I don't know. I don't have the names, but you're probably right. But
all I know is for 4 or 5 years
today.
we've been doing
Son,
4
Kane.
years or so we've been doing this podcast, and every year I've come on here talking about we need an overhaul, we need to go for a transition, and every year it seems like I target or pick on the same names, and sometimes people look at me and say, "Oh, they're the easy targets. They're the guys you guys always pick on," but it's because they're the same guys here every season costing us. It's the same fraudulence. Lloris, I'm sorry. If today
he got subbed,
bro, if that performance today does not give you evidence of I don't give a shit what you've done for me for 10 years, leave the club this summer. I don't care in what regard it is, because there comes a point when it becomes, forget your legacy, bro. You're actually just disgracing yourself now at this point. And too many times I've seen this with him. So many of those players I just want to hang out to dry, but bruv.
but
This summer can't come soon enough, and this reset cannot come.
But
soon
you know, in the go on then.
the reason why I find it so hard, again, looking at football in totality, yeah, I've never seen a reason why to think this summer will be different from the last few summers.
No, it won't. But I just want the season to end, is all I'm saying by this summer. I literally just want the season to end so I don't have to talk about this.
You're living through the Arsenal,
bro.
Through the Arsenal bottle.
Let me ask you a little question, yeah. In the 20 years or so, whatever you've been watching Premier League, where does Daniel Levy rank in terms of chairman? And when I say chairman, of the worst chairman you can name, the top 5, where does Daniel Levy rank in that? Because I know he's in that top 5, but I just want to know from an outsider's, how does he look?
Yeah, he's pretty bad.
Sometimes
But at the same
it feels
time,
like
though,
only Spurs fans are the
give him
ones
the
complaining,
stadium.
and rightly so, because he's our chairman. But I don't know. I don't feel like other
But at the
clubs...
same, it's because, do you know why? The reason why people don't look at it different is because, one, you weren't winning before, really like that, and you're not. So everyone's best experience of Spurs has come under Daniel Levy. You get it? So everyone's kind of looks at it like, hold on, why are you, man, complaining when you're not necessarily a big club? Before, all right, Gazza might nick you an FA Cup, but you were always just that fun kind of club who ain't competing for titles. So
Listen, we in Chelsea were the exact same prior to their takeover.
Yeah. Even you won more trophies, I believe.
won
it
more
was.
trophies.
But
you forget that. Couldn't you?
Yeah.
But you man a little bros,
I just want to put the facts out there. Football started before 2000. You know what I'm saying?
you man a
But
little bros.
Yeah. But you know what I'm saying though. Everyone saw the best of Spurs that we saw is under Daniel Levy. So that's why opposition fans are like,
I think that's only
what are you complaining for?
recency,
You
but
know what I
for me,
mean?
I think if you're genuinely looking at it from an ownership standpoint, you have failed.
Everton,
you're looking
I
at it
think,
from
are the
a
worst.
I'm a
I would
Tottenham
agree,
fan
but they've
running
had
the
different
club.
guys in there.
What the
They've had
actually
different-
Everton.
but that's what I said,
Everton-
when
and
you give example.
for the crimes that the Glazers have done to our
Nah.
football club.
I'm sorry.
Do you know-
Levy's
They're
worse than the Glazers.
liquidating us, bro.
Wallahi, Levy's worse than the Glazers. Wallahi, he's worse than the Glazers. At least you've won trophies. At least you've had like big money signings.
Fergie, thank you.
Oh,
This is what you see. The reason why the Spurs one is like, it's funny and it's interesting is because in all of that time, you can, if he was to walk away, you can say, you know what, it's a Champions League final. He built a stadium. He was always in kind of contention. Like, he has this sort of thing, and I don't know whether he can take claim for it, but you've always kind of been there or thereabouts. And I think that says more about where the Premier League was than Spurs actually being good. Because you always had one team.
Come on, that team was good.
hear what I'm saying.
That's been
Hear
good.
what I'm saying. Hear what I'm saying. Because one team, remember before, it was one team will come in and pop up. Spurs were always not enough good to be there above the rest. Now the rest have kind of just come closer. And now for the first time next season, I'm not even putting Spurs in this bit here. You're with these guys now. That's where I see Spurs. And that's what I'm saying.
I saw that at the start of the season.
The thing is, we mentioned it earlier. It's looking like Spurs. You guys are gonna go through a period. Listen, you've already had a barren period in terms of trophies, but in terms of all this relevance and stuff, like it's gonna be disappearing, man.
it's
You know what I
poetic
mean?
that
It's
it's
gonna be
Newcastle that do it to you as
disappearing.
well.
And that was
It's
the
poetic
funny
that it's
thing.
Newcastle that do it to you.
Today almost felt like literally the passing of the mantle of like, all right, here you go into the top four. I feel like Newcastle just set the tone. First minute, bopped it like that. I think all of their players you got to give credit to.
Oh,
as well.
big up Newcastle,
I think
man.
Real talk.
Massive from Jacob Murphy, I think.
You guys
He's
made
someone-
Joelinton look like Vinny.
Bro. Nah, I can't lie. He was balling out.
Yeah,
Joe
bro,
Linton
Vinny?
is someone. Now we gotta stop. No,
He was dribbling like Vinny.
No.
Pedro Porro, please, brother. You think you're getting away?
Yeah,
Pedro Porro.
The World Cup winner.
talk to me.
Can we talk about the World Cup winner first?
Well, we will speak about
We need
him.
to speak
You know
about
what I
the World
mean?
Cup
But
winner
listen, we see with people like Pedro Porro. This is what I was saying off air. If you had said, before Pedro Porro came to Spurs, and you had said, this guy looks a little bit mid, people would have been like, hey, you're a Prem tard. You only know right backs in the Prem. These brothers come to the league and look how he's looking, bruv. Do you know what I mean? Cooked. He's been one of the worst signings of the season, bro, so far. Already. Have you seen?
He's had a couple mares. I don't know about worst
Listen.
signings of the season.
One of?
Richarlison's there, man. Come on.
Evil twins. That's what it is.
Pedicure.
We're irritated.
Listen, I can't lie, man. Pedicure Porro, regular Don. These fullbacks, these man be signing,
bruv.
Bro, you man are 2 for 2 for duds like that.
Bro, he's terrible. Bro, so far, from what I've seen, he reeks, bro. He reeks.
For me, I think he'll come good. He's just today
And
was
his-
he got shown you cannot play right back in the back four, and I think everyone was saying that. I kept trying to say, hey, maybe he can squeeze in the back four. Today we saw this brother sleeping, and he's a right forward, not a right back. So I think you're being harsh. I think
I'm being harsh on who?
Porro.
On Porro, nah.
I think the Leicester game he got cooked. I think today he got cooked.
Oh my
put it this way,
God.
when he's had bad games, he's had bad games. But I think if you look at him, technically, bro, very sound.
All right.
Engine quality. All
next
you
one.
need
Let
for
him
right
off of
back.
that.
He will come good eventually.
I'll allow him because firstly, but he's hooked. Now, let's get into
Can we speak about your World Cup winner, please?
Cutie.
Can we speak about your World Cup winner,
Cutie,
please?
cutie. How your name Cutie, but you want to be a hard man? I don't get that one. That's the first and foremost.
Firstly, I've always hated that. The day we signed him and I was hearing we signed Couture, I said,
can't.
bro, you're meant to be a dog.
He can't.
Cut this cute shit out.
He
yeah.
can't play in the back four. I'm
Secondly,
sorry.
I've said all season, even when he was playing at the World Cup, people were saying, oh, he's playing well at the World Cup. I said, but for us this year, miles off. And this is now second season we're going in. First year, I felt like we got glimpses and patches of spells where you thought, yo, there's potential for a player. And so often this season, I've tried to do Oh, but he's playing around some duds, man. Oh, he's playing in a shoddy defense. He's playing in a weak back line.
He's overrated.
You are the one getting cooked. Sometimes you are the weak link. Sometimes you are the one being targeted. They're looking at him like, this we can get this one to jump out of the back line.
He ain't who you
There's a
think he
gap
is,
right behind him. Every single time over the past maybe 6 months, it seems like teams are targeting that side a little bit more because they know Porro and Emerson are going to go on wonders, and then they're going to know he's going to be over rash and overzealous.
Is he? I mean, like, yo, people were putting it. He was in that top 5 conversation.
I'm not ready to completely write him off. I think there's still a player in there, but the
Where
conversations of where we was having,
yeah.
he's up there with the elites. Let's calm down.
Where does he rank in the Premier League?
See now, there's
is he in the top 10? I don't know. If
we're in the
is
tier
he
below.
top 10?
We're
Is
in
he
the tier
top
below.
10?
You see that top 10?
No.
We're in the tier below.
Let's do this.
I'm gonna keep it up.
Is he a top 10 Premier League centre back?
He's not top 10. Especially right now, there's the top 10. Bro, Premier League is stacked for centre backs right now, especially. Chelsea, City, Liverpool. Nah, they've all got centre backs better. Even some of the Brighton centre backs, dare I say, I might even put ahead of him.
What are you saying?
This season.
Big dunkers.
Colwill.
Yeah, he's hard.
The boy's talented.
Colwill's hard.
Your boys. I'll have a look at him in the summer.
Colwill's hard.
But for me, Romero, I'm sorry. Your levels have dipped.
World Cup
The
winner.
hype has died. We need serious lights under you for the next end of this year. I'm watching. When the next season starts, I want to see how that season starts. That brother this season has been getting cooked.
Did you
left,
say
right, and
Gabriel
centre.
Tax?
You know, Hanksay. Remember Hanksay from Man United?
No, I thought you said Tax. That's too funny.
No. We'll see, boy.
The
The top
Warrior.
10.
I feel sorry for the Warrior. He's just losing wars out there in the middle of the park.
No. Warrior hype, bro. Hoiberg's days are numbered, man.
Oh, but he was the Warrior just 2 months ago.
No. Hoiberg is a warrior. I like him. Good squad player. But we're past the stage of
That's
he is
changed.
required. Bro, when new information is presented to you, you can change your opinion. New information
Views
was
may
present-
change. VMC.
I saw too many performances this season where he has been asked to build the play up in the first phase. This guy is too slow, too stuck in the mud, just not agile enough, I'm sorry. And on the ball, as much as he can play a pass or two, nowhere near as comfortable as he needs to be. I'm sorry. We have to move on.
I'm going
If
to
we
need
wanna
Harry Kane.
progress-
I'm going to need Harry Kane.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to need Harry Kane.
90.
Don't worry about it. Don't listen. We'll
90.
talk fees soon. But I'm gonna need Harry Kane. There's one person that everyone in the chat wants to hear from, especially as somehow people associate to me for some weird ass
wasn't even
reason.
your shout.
But you, as the chief Bukayo Saka hater. For someone that is the chief
No way
hater.
we're going after Kulu.
Yeah, Kulu.
My dog.
Hey,
Hey.
Kulu.
Now, we
hey,
need to have a
there's a
conversation
lot
with
of.
him as well. We need to have a
He's
conversation.
gone. I mean, that little spell, that little
Uncomfortable.
6 months where it was cooking.
So
but since then,
last year, started the season bright, then got injured. And then after that, I think up until the World Cup, basically, he was in and out of the side. Comes back from the World Cup, out for about a month with a knee injury or something like that. Has not been anywhere near the same since then. Like a shadow of himself. I don't even recognize him, honestly.
is that another person that people have? Everyone prematurely hyped.
Nah, for me, I think with him, the talent is clearly there. I think there's been fitness issues. I think the squad is an absolute mess. He is one that is undisputed a talent for me. It's just a down bit of form, if you like. For me, he will come good. I would not. Anybody who's got Kulu stocks, don't sell your Kulu stocks. Romero
Bukkake,
stocks, I can.
Don't let people find a good one for Kulu, you know.
Bukkake, we're going to have some conversations. It's crunch time of the season now.
Look how he's
Getting squeaked one time. Don't make me flip the script now. Hey, yo!
Hey, but quickly on Newcastle though. Hey,
need to
Isaac.
speak
Isaac.
Yeah. He scored. He said,
Somaliland, put your
Listen.
lighters up. Somaliland, put your lighters up.
you guys don't even have no
Come
lights
on,
in Somalia.
put your lighters up. London, put your lighters up. Come
Listen,
on.
let me say,
15 appearances.
Bro,
10
he's
Premier League
almost
goals.
got. He's nearly half how many goals he scored in the whole time he was in La Liga, bro. So, which is crazy. But fam, I forgot what I was gonna say. You carry on.
No, I was saying ultimately he had the injury.
You know when it's just because you're shouting Somaliland. Shut up, man. Damn. Let me pod, blood.
Nah, real talk. For him to, I mean, this was like their, I wouldn't call it a marquee, but this was like their first big signing. The first signing where it was like, oh, they're starting to spend the cash a little bit. And there was a lot of talk on, Is he the number 9 he needs? Is he the person that elevates you? Is he better than Callum Wilson? Can he take them anywhere? 15 appearances, 10 Premier League goals, first season.
Yeah, he's a nice player.
And he has shown that he's not even cooking yet. He's still like, he's still brewing a little bit, which you have to give fair play to the way they've introduced him and they've utilised him.
I said this week, shout out to Theo Walcott, because people don't know he was the pioneer of the fake Henrys. You know what I mean? The first ever fake Henry. He's the new Henry. I remember when he got the number 14, the guy had the audacity to say, I didn't even know Henry wears that number. I was like, yeah. Theo, you're misbehaving, mate.
That's when they were doing
you're misbehaving. However, you know what I mean? He gave birth, you know what I mean, to a lot of fake Henrys. You know, Martials, Biabani, and all these Donnies, you know what I mean? Isaac is like, hold on, I'm the newest addition. You know what I mean? I'm a new addition, fake Henry, new plate. 22, 23 plate. People are trying to link him, you know what I mean?
Enlighten those that...
He's got more
Mbappe's like, listen, I'm the supreme. Yeah. I'm the supreme one.
I am Henry. I am Henry.
I might surpass the king, you know what I mean? But, yeah,
let's see what he's got more shades of Bergkamp than Henry about him.
What on earth did you just say right now?
Isaac is techie, bruv. The nice feet, the little touches, bro. You don't see it now? Little shadow striker now?
That ain't it, yo. Nah, that ain't it. That ain't it. Nah. Hey. Oh, man, you a casual. Oh, man.
I'll probably watch Bergkamp the most.
Hold on. Wait.
You're talking about his Langley sort of lackadaisical style. But that I don't think that equates to him playing like Bergkamp.
He picks up that doesn't mean he's the exact same as Bergkamp. I didn't say that.
You're talking about
I said his game is probably more like Bergkamp's than I would Henry. Henry was pure pace and power.
Your player ID. Your player ID.
What, do you see that pace and power in
Hey, listen.
Do you?
Dennis Bergkamp. There's the complete difference in the way they play.
How so?
Dennis,
let's start here. Can you, because obviously you have to remember.
Because Bergkamp and Henry for me are like the two polars.
No, that's what I'm saying.
First and foremost, Bergkamp was slow, gets on a ball.
Man, wait, pause.
I'm not saying he's absolutely rapid. I'm just saying.
Henry.
Wait, we will tackle this.
Wait, hold on. You're talking about the langliness. Henry was that lanky kind of figure. Not fucking Dennis Bergkamp.
So the only comparison you've got in them two is height.
No, it's the coolness, it's the calm, it's the sauce, the finishing.
That's what Bergkamp had. Was Bergkamp not cool? Does Bergkamp not have sauce?
Bergkamp was like a superior technician.
You know what we're talking about.
I need you to use your words.
No, bro, this one ain't it. Nah, this one ain't. Dennis Bergkamp, who the ball would come to him, he was the Iceman. First of all, he was the most...
That's a shout.
He's one of the greatest technical players to ever play in the Premier, first of all.
Even Good Johnson of that.
Someone said Kanu in here, and I understand that bit more.
I don't know.
Who?
I think that's...
Someone said Kanu.
That's
young Kanu. Young Kanu.
It's tall and black.
Hey, the Dennis Bergkamp one though, that was a brick. I
don't think that's as big as a brick as you think.
I dare you tweet that.
Nah.
I dare you tweet that.
Anyway,
stand on it.
Let's go back to saying, elaborate on that point for people that, it's not everyone that watches us that understands.
I'm just having a laugh, you know what I mean? Fake Henrys, we got a new one, innit?
Alright, cool.
We got a birth of a new one.
Nah,
Swedish hat. Hey, Swedish Dennis Bergkamp. Brick.
Swedish Henry.
Went through and shoots.
They be cooking me about Twitter memes. This guy might have more than me, bro.
Hey, listen. Let's bring it back in.
You're on your own there, Liaz.
He might be cooking you.
Liaz the AI. You said Liaz the AI trying to spread it across to me.
Liaz is football Jack GBT, bro. He just puts in one quote and just regurgitates all of the quotes.
This guy's lucky I took it already, bro.
Listen, I'm a black Londoner. I got the privilege. I got lucky.
You got London Riz.
This guy's some Algerian, Canadian, French, Australian. I don't know. You know what I mean?
You don't have a home.
Yeah, we don't know you, bro. You don't know you.
What we're talking about though. The reason why this Newcastle Spurs result was so poetic is because they go 6 points ahead of you with a game in hand. Like you said, it's a change of guard. But for everything that Spurs have done wrong, you have to celebrate what Newcastle have done right. If you look at the Wilsons, the players that were there before the takeover, the coach has improved them. Almiron, there was the whole Grealish thing. Forget about that. He has improved as a footballer. Joe Willock.
I ain't heard about that in a while. When Grealish is now at level, it's forget about that.
No, Grealish is there with Elton John, Rocket Man and that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Different superstar.
Rocket Power, man. RIP Takeoff, man.
Real talk. I didn't know you was going there with that. I said Elton John, you went to, that threw me off my line of thought. But yeah, you look at Willock, Joe Linton, these players have improved because of the coaching job that's happening. And then when you add more better quality to that, we can see how far they'll take.
It's going to be hard for Eddie Howe to replace these guys. That's the problem. When they're pushing, it's going to be hard for him to be like, do you know what? I don't want this guy started anymore, even though he's done really well. He's got he in the summer is going to have to be ruthless himself.
That's where man management, and that's where we'll see if he can be at that level. Because when you're at Bournemouth and you're doing these things and whatnot, it's easy to tell Lamena or these guys, I'm not playing you. Billing, I don't want to see you. When you're working with superstars and you're trying to bring superstars in, that's where it gets interesting, man. But I mean, we've got time. There's a lot of time. We can't continue cooking you. I feel we didn't even
it's a therapy, man. It's therapy for him. Sometimes you gotta let man melt down themselves. You know what I'm trying to say? Gotta let them melt down.
Arsenal fans, I'm sorry, you're gonna think we're trying to cook you or not. We're just gonna be real and speak about things.
We got super chats for.
Let's go super chats. Listen, I was being too overzealous, you know. You get some.
There's some people are now gonna start leaving, boy.
They say what combination street and that as well. Let's go super chats.
AJ says City winning the treble on United's head top. We will be there.
Why is it on United's head top? Why is it not on Real Madrid's head top?
Nah, because obviously it's our record, isn't it?
Treble, 3-peat, out the window, same day.
Yeah, that doesn't matter, man. That doesn't matter. We've been there, we've done that. You know what I mean?
Who's he trying to lie to?
Bro, welcome to the club. Welcome to
Only
the party.
the second to do it.
Yeah, I mean, well done. Welcome to the party. You're about flipping 20 years late. Damn.
Go on, super chats.
Bassett 1% says time to get Juan de Ramos on the phone. Hella disrespected.
I said Tim Sherwood, bruv. Start.
Hey, keep your colleagues away
What's
from
not
you.
the first guy? You said,
Bruv, keep your
Man said your colleagues. What do you mean?
bruv.
He's works for Premier League.
Yeah, bruv. That he's lucky to even have a Premier League job. That bro should not be a pundit. Bozo. Clueless manager, clueless pundit, barely a decent player. Allow it, man. Sherwood hype.
Hey, Premier League winning captain.
Real talk, man.
Dud. Absolute dud.
Real talk, man. I've forgotten the first manager's name again. Stevie Coops.
Yeah, Stevie Coops. Yeah, Stevie Coops.
Rodgers ain't got a job at the moment.
Yeah, where's them super chats?
But Rodgers off.
Next up, we got Articulated Thumb saying Joelinton said, remember Moussa Dembele. Ash goes about Arsenal. I don't know why. Props to Saka Martinelli. Got numbers equal to or better than some great Premier League wingers. Too many people making dumb errors, losing composure to win the Premier League.
Ash, he's present.
Good. He's had a few days.
Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere.
Adam with a super chat says David De Gea or Lloris, who's worse?
Jeez, that is.
I prefer not to speak.
Yeah.
Cancer or AIDS.
You gotta start saying stuff.
S goes, Fuad, I'm trying to be like you, big man, preying on downfalls. And James Arthur says, Fuad, I felt that putting this towards your drug money.
I appreciate you, bro.
All right.
Let's get into it, man. Listen, man. Arsenal fans, if you don't like this, maybe skip forward about 10, 15, 20 minutes. Oh, sorry. Let's address the elephant in the room. 3 draws back to back.
What's this?
3 draws back to back. Key content creators in their community saying that we've given up the title now. Popular voices online in Twitter spaces saying that it's all Holding's fault. Is the pressure getting to Arsenal and Arsenal fans and the Arsenal community? Because as far as I was concerned when I checked it, it's still in their hands. But contrary to belief, you believe it's different from what you're saying. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, it's come to squeaky bum time. And bums are getting squeaky.
Whoa.
Squeaky.
Honestly, there's so much to get into with this situation. There's stuff tactically, there's stuff personnel wise, and there's just general mental things as well. But I want to start with the fans.
Go on.
Because look, amongst all of this, we've all seen online, and I don't like to pair everyone together because not everyone says it, but we're starting to see like a big kind of, I don't even want Jesus to start. Next week, don't start Jesus. Blah, blah, blah. Jesus is so crap at finishing. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Jesus, we need a new 9. But there was people like CultureCams who was saying Yeah,
I
there
like
was,
that.
there was people like
Keep going.
Bro, there was people like CultureCams that was saying, as much as you have these strikers in this day and age that link up well and they do all of these things well, if they don't put the ball in the back of the net, as soon as results change and don't go in your direction, the first thing you'll do is say, why doesn't my 9 score goals?
I've got an
If
name.
Manchester United, Martial, listen, if Firmino, if Mane and Salah weren't fucking generational wing duo in the Premier League, people would have been looking at Firmino after a while and being like, brother, can you score us some more goals?
Yeah.
This is what happens. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Kai Havertz, can you score me some goals, please? Now Arsenal fans are calling for his head. But all season, when there's somebody saying, eventually, he needs to start putting the ball in the back of the net, and then if you look at the game against Sheffield, against Southampton, Jesus, man, I'm looking at you there as well.
Do you know what I call it? I call it calorie stick performances. It's empty calories. You're eating, but there's nothing nutritional coming off of it. And
McDonald's. We eat McDonald's.
Listen, the nutritional, it's not
it's
helping
just
you.
doing me
The
well.
kilojoules not going forward. And it's not just about forwards, it's about any single position in football in general. You can have all these additional qualities, but when it comes to the job description, as a striker, you're there to score goals.
A lot of people overcomplicate things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A lot of
The job
people...
description of a striker is score goals, win games. Goalkeeper, make saves. Centre half, clean sheets. Like football can change as much as it wants to, but the fundamentals will always be the fundamentals.
Listen, the problem is, Arsenal fans are being super reactionary with that, though. You've got to stick with him at the end of the day,
100%.
right? You've gotten to this point, right? You've got to stick with it. You know what I mean?
This got you here.
This is who. Of course, he was injured for quite a while,
this
and
got you
Kante
here.
will get them through quite a
But
period.
for the most part, this got
This
you.
is what was the catalyst of all of
Exactly.
it. When Jesus come in and was doing his thing. So you guys have just got to stick with it and get behind it. I don't understand the calls for him to not be the 9 anymore. I do know you need to score goals, as I said, but you got into this position, you can't be that reactionary. Do you know what I mean? But I think, listen, a lot of people are talking about the holding inclusion. I think I understand some parts of it, right? One player can have a really bad effect on a team. But I do think it's getting too far. You know what I mean? It's Holding's fault for Ramsdale being poor.
Bro,
It's
I saw
Holding's
them-
fault for Partey being poor.
I saw them
It's actually
bringing up
Holding's fault for Saka
stats.
being poor. This
in
is the
Sky Sports. I was like, bro, what the hell? Are we
this
doing
is like a little bit of a
It's a
witch hunt.
smear campaign. Do you-
Like,
do you-
Odegaard passed the ball terribly into the
I'm sorry.
midfield. They went on the other end, and Holding got blamed for it because he was a little bit too deep.
Go on, bro, sir.
Thomas Partey again.
Poor.
Another performance where he was poor, and I don't know what's happened over the last 3 or 4 weeks with him, but his performances have completely gone out of the window in the most important time. Saka got the goal, got the assist, but I didn't feel like performance-wise was his normal self as well. I feel like, I don't know, it just feels like in this moment, similarly like last year when that top 4 race was happening, when push comes to shove, shall I say, these guys don't seem to want to be able to push over that final hurdle at the moment. And I'm sorry, Southampton 2-1 down at home going into half time, and then come out of the second half, you go 3-1 down. They didn't start reacting once again till it was way too late. And this was almost like the opposite of what was the last 2 games. The last 2 games, they were actually dominating early on and then kind of started to give it up. This was almost the opposite.
I won't go too much on the spiel, but with Arsenal, right, obviously production sat in a few weeks ago and said whatever he said. I don't think Arsenal have a mentality issue. I just think you have to look at the broad picture of what you're looking at. This is your first title challenge in how long? This is this squad's first one. Name me how many teams actually win their first one. It's a very difficult thing to do, to topple the people in front of you off.
What do you mean?
Like, if you're going into, like, obviously City are the machine. The first time that you go and challenge someone, you don't always topple them. It might take the second attempt.
Teams
No,
have
but
done
this
that.
is-
Arsenal did it.
I'm not saying it's not happened.
Arsenal did it. Man United,
I'm
obviously.
not saying that it doesn't happen, but usually you go all the way and fall short. This is my thing here, right? It's still in your hands. It's still in your hands. It is not over. Yeah,
It's over for me.
No, but you're saying that with what you think is going to happen. As we look at it right now, it is not over. They still have to play those games. We can say what we think is going to happen, but it's not over. If Arsenal are feeling that and saying it's over, then they don't deserve to win, because ultimately it's still in your hands. You're still at top. If you win your games and handle your business, you win.
When I see Jesus coming out saying we're the youngest
Yes.
team,
No, but
we
listen,
ain't
but
been
listen,
there.
and this is
I
what-
see
and
Reece
this- and this
Nelson
is what
putting
I
up
wanna talk about,
pictures
and
saying
this is what I
keep
wanna talk about.
dreaming. I'm like,
And this is what I want to talk about. Because for me, Antonio's coming out saying that he's hearing that within their camp, it's the first time they're looking at this and that.
which I said on Stoppage 3 weeks ago.
Yep. the issue you now have to look at is, okay, why has it happened now? Why is this all turning now? Because the 2 games they drew before that, okay, the Liverpool one, they said they were fine with it. Was it the Palace one before that? They said they were fine with it. You can't have that. This is the Premier League where you have to get to the top, you have to continue that momentum. We've seen how many teams win the league and they have to go 15, 16, 17 games unbeaten. Arsenal were on their best winning streak in Arteta's reign at Arsenal. And then what happens? That one draw when they didn't need to do that. And you know what happens in the Premier League? When a team sees something, they go, you know what? Oh, we could do something here. That's not me hating, that's facts. Because the next 2 games, what happened? Everyone's scoring goals now. You can say it's Rob Holding, you can say it's all of these things, but people have seen something in Arsenal. They said, you know what? They're not as tough
What is that
as we
they've
think
seen?
of.
All right, can I ask a question though?
Let's stop.
Is
beating around the bush.
it Rob Holding that made Arsenal concede the third most goals at home in the Premier League?
No,
this
it's
season?
not. And that's what I'm saying. This, for me, it's not Rob Holding.
Only
because-
Leeds and Southampton, I believe, have conceded more goals at home this season than Arsenal. Rob Holding didn't play in them
Because
games.
so what we want to talk
Saliba
about,
was there.
Have there been tactical decisions that are wrong? Yes. Have there been performances that have dropped? Yes. So we can't just blame it on one individual. As a team, they're getting to a place where the standards they set early on in the season that we praise them for are not the same. Now it's down to you to get back to those standards, because if you don't, the team over there will continue doing what they're doing. And that's facts, but that is why it's a title race. It's not a foregone conclusion till you get to that line. You have to get back on your back and do stuff. And I said it 2 weeks ago. Arsenal in a position where they're playing more games before they play that City game. Can you build a gap?
They had to build that gap.
They had to build it, and that's what I'm saying.
Yes, they had
So
to.
you can't blame Rob Holding come in for that. You didn't take advantage of what you had. Now, can you go there on Wednesday and actually do something?
And look, this is
It's in your hands. It's not over. It's in your hands.
It's actually in City's hands. But,
Who's top of the table?
Arsenal, but the title is in. It's actually, if the term's in your hands, it will be in City's hands.
Why so?
Because they are mathematically, they can go above. So that's why you say it's
If
in their
Arsenal
hands.
win
Do you get
all
where
their
I'm from?
games, do they win the league?
Who?
If Arsenal win all their games, who wins the league?
I don't even know how it works.
Arsenal is.
But
Whoever
if
wins
City
that
win all
game
their
on
games,
Wednesday.
if City win
Arsenal
all
are
their
not
games,
winning at the
Therefore,
Etihad,
Arsenal
bro.
are playing City.
but the reason why I'm saying that is because they're going. The advantage you would say is the Etihad, of course, right? The fixture. So
if
that's
they-
why it will be in City's
and
hands.
I hear you and I agree with what you're saying, but ultimately, that is all theoretical speaking of what we think can happen. If Arsenal want to win this league, like they've been saying and they've been preparing for, what do they need to do?
Yeah, they need to win their game.
There you go.
But listen, they've put themselves in a very, very difficult position.
100%.
They put themselves in a difficult position. The thing is, with Arsenal as well, like, look, as much as everyone wants to play around it, of course, but of course, nerves do play a part in this. Do you know what I mean? Nerves do play a part in it. I'm seeing a lot of the Twitter accounts and stuff talk about, it's not nerves, guys. It's this tactical reason as this. Okay, that's fine. Obviously, tactics affect every game. But the problem is as well, like, guys, let's be honest, bro. Like, we've all played football to a certain extent, and you've been in a league race, whether it's relegation, mid-table, top of the table. After you've played your match, what do? You go in, you check what the other team have done. Like, why do we act like footballers are robots? They're real people with real emotions. Nerves play a part in these situations, bro. That is also playing a part in Arsenal's situation. It's no doubt. We look at what Antonio said. You listen to what Jesus said. Saka missing penalties. Everything is playing, and it's getting into a squeaky, awkward moment for them in somewhere that they're not experienced. All season, we talk about pressure. We talk about the type. People like big Alex Ferguson and stuff talk about the pressure of a title race. But Twitter accounts will tell me it's nothing got to do with nerves. It's because of this tactic. Bro, we're all humans, bro. We're all humans. Nerves play a part in things. As I said a week ago, I've seen big Manchester United winners bottle title races through ridiculous moments, dropping points at Everton, 4-4. Are you crazy? These guys would get nervous, bro. It happens. Arsenal are the youngest team, and it's happened to them. Like, it's a fact.
Quickly, because you see, you're saying that about title contenders. We've seen City trying to win their own title, have moments, not completely capitulate, but within that. Last season, you need to win the game. You're losing the game. It can happen to anyone. That's normal. My whole point is, ultimately, Premier League titles are earned. You earn that right. And that comes through hard moments and bouncing back. So we've praised this team all year for doing all of these great things, yeah? Now you have to go and go for it.
Bro,
You know
what they have to do is virtually. No, I mean, that's the
It's a
exaggeration,
big-
but
of course it's a big task.
big ask to
But
ask
at
them
the
to
end
go
of
to the Etihad. Well, obviously, you have to, to go to the Etihad and get 3 points in a do-or-die fixture, we've already spoken about it. It's going to be incredibly difficult.
But that's the level
City,
of defeat you're
as
up
these
against.
City fans, I like how they
Which is why you have to look at these draws
as
you
detrimental.
said, as detrimental. Because
100%
I'm
they are.
sorry, all season long, Arsenal fans have been patting themselves on the back and parading the title as if it's a foregone conclusion. And this was the issue with it. It's all season long, you guys were also patting yourselves and saying, nah, mentally, we've come on leaps and bounds. We're not even the same team we were last year. You're doing the exact same mistakes as you were last year. So essentially, you've added Jesus and Zinchenko. Yeah, he can do a team huddle after you concede every goal.
I tweeted those
It's
are
not
cringe
adding
weeks ago.
anything. It's actually getting to the point where it's borderline cringe and corny at this point. It's
It's
laughable.
over emotional, man.
It's way over emotional. And I feel like, as you said there, the nerves are getting to them. The emotions are getting to them. The pressure is getting to them. And it's fine. It can get to you. As you said, you're humans. You're competing in a title race that you're not normally experienced in. It can happen. But then don't be sour about it. And for me, this is where also it was, don't crown yourself so early. Because 14
Not all
games,
fans did that. Not all fans.
Not all fans for sure. But are we going to deny that it wasn't a large majority? Now they're all going to come back and say, no. We all knew City were a super team. No, all season we were saying City were in transition. All season we were saying City, they don't know how to fit Haaland in. They're just relying on his goals. You were the best team. You were the best footballing team. You were the best defence. You had the best wingers in the world. Don't let it all fall out of the window now just because of nerves, is all I'm saying.
What I would say is...
Now
they
the
have to
biggest moment is here now.
Yeah.
And for me, if they can even get a draw out of this, City are not completely untenable. Their job right now, Arsenal, should be, even if we're going to lose the title, City are going to win this on the final day. You're going to have to take it in that manner. Because otherwise, if you just now falter away from now till after, let's say you lose a City game, and the next couple of games you just start dropping points, and now you finish the season 10 points off City. Don't ever talk to me about this season again. All you'll remember is the fluorescent pink kits at the start of the season. Oh, take me back to 2022 December. Shut up. Shut up.
On the real though, like I get all the points, but now ultimately, like, you have to go through that adversity. You have to, like, again, Etihad is not a joke. Yes, City are this amazing team. But for me, like...
Do you think Arsenal are going to... You kind of sound like you think Arsenal are going to beat them at the Etihad.
No, but
I'm trying to say...
I've seen mad things happen in football. We've seen Leicester win. We've seen mad things happen in football. My whole thing is, I just don't like this whole thing of people, like you said, giving up now. Because you put yourself in a situation.
Yes.
You were fine and you put yourself in a situation.
Yeah.
Now, it's not completely over yet. If it was mathematically done or completely detrimental, I understand. It's not done. Go back to doing what you're doing before. And what I'd say as well is, this is where, for me, Arteta's come a long way. But now we get to truly see it. Because if anyone knows Pep well to extent, it's you. You knew the machine you're playing against. You knew that Man City were going to get to this point. Now you have to really try something.
What City are doing, obviously we know City are City, but as you mentioned, they could have went, was it 11 points clear or something like that before their game or whatever, something mad. So when you draw against Southampton, you draw against West Ham, that's got nothing to do with Manchester City. That's the part about it that I'm like, you know what I mean? What has 3 draws in a row got to do with Manchester City? It hasn't got anything to do with Man City. So that is the little bit where I'm kind of like, you know what I mean? I'm kind of like, it's a little bit of an excuse to try and be like, oh, Liverpool fans, we understand where you guys are coming from. No, Liverpool fans, they were winning 16 games in a row. And then City were winning 18. Do you know what I mean? That's the damn difference. This one is like dropping 3 games in a row away from 3 games against West Ham relegation battlers and Southampton relegation battlers. That's at home. That's not really got much to do with Man City. And I think at the same time, this is kind of when, remember when Ten Hag, and I mentioned it on our pod, remember when Ten Hag made that quote where he said basically Arsenal are like lucky not to have any injuries or whatever, and I said that quote is being misquoted.
Yeah.
He's obviously trying to say Arsenal have had the fortune of having a fixed team
Unchanged
all
11.
season.
Yeah.
Now, yes, they had an injury to Partey, they had an injury to Jesus, but what he was saying is they've had continuity. Yes, them guys were injured, but Arsenal was still able to field the same side week in, week out, week in, week out. And it was, the facts were there. Arsenal were the most unchanged 11 in the Premier League at one point.
Yeah.
Don't know if they still are. But then now you see, they bring out one important cog out of it. Everyone's saying that's the reason why the title race is going. So really and truly, Ten Hag was spitting and he got crucified for no reason.
I heard that point, but I just feel like in general, like you said, I said before, they were on their best winning streak under Arteta's whole time at thing. To the point that you said, I said before, when it was Liverpool and City, you're winning towards the end of the season. Both teams are still going across the finishing line trying to win. That first draw, they said, oh, it's nothing. The second draw now, Liverpool, that was the excuse. The third draw, is it now the third draw that because there's been three red dressing? No, that first one shouldn't have happened. So now that's happened. It's been and gone. Dust your shoulders off. You've got the biggest game of your lives now. Can you do something, please?
It's going to be.
How long have they been top of the table for?
All season, pretty much. All season. They've been top of the table.
So
pretty
they've
much
been the
since
standard
September.
bearers. Okay, cool. If you truly want to win this Premier League title, go and do the business. That's what I'm saying. Go and do the business.
My thing is as well, though, like in this situation is, if Arsenal don't win the league, I'm not doing the whole, I can't vote for that whole who's had a better season debate. But if Arsenal don't win the league, surely everything that they bantered Spurs about is them this year.
Give more context.
Because people said Arsenal bottled the title. People said Spurs bottled the title that they were never top of, right? That's what everyone said. They were never top of that Leicester season. In fact, we all remember Danny Welbeck scoring the winner and Arsenal, it looked like they were going to go and win the league. Arsenal were top of the table at one point. Arsenal, if Pochettino finished second in the Chelsea season when Conte won it, and everyone was laughing at how Spurs fans were doing combined points, that if you combine the two seasons, Spurs will be top and all that stuff. But really and truly, what's the difference between Pochettino's team? By the way, Pochettino's team was the second youngest in the league as well, I believe it was, as well. So what is really the difference between Pochettino's bottlers and Arsenal's invincible new generation team? Like, you know what I'm trying to say? What really and truly, what's the difference? Arsenal, if you genuinely look at it, Pochettino's Spurs and Arteta's Arsenal this season, it's pretty much identical, except in the fact that Arsenal ran the table. Spurs never did.
Yep.
I agree.
So which is a bigger bottle?
For me, I think this one, the fact that you've led the race, the fact that you've, and I would say comfortably looked like the best team in the league. I don't think Spurs in any of either season, whether it was the Chelsea one or the Leicester one, looked like the best side in the league. This Arsenal team have, hands down, looked like the best side in the league for the majority of it, have been in the position of strength for the majority of it, have had it in their hands for the majority of it. That's why, for me, this is a bigger bottle.
And the thing is,
it's the fact that you also had the top four bottling last year experience to learn from this year. You added some winners to actually have won the Premier League this year.
Can I ask why in 2016 it was Spurs that bottled the title, but not Arsenal? How did this narrative create? How did this narrative be created that Arsenal? So anyway, Arsenal were the closest competitors as well that season. Anyway, Spurs got to a certain point and then they started losing at the final game of the season. So Arsenal got there. Cool.
Lost the final game.
But Arsenal were the ones by February that were actually at the top of the table. And then secondly, okay, cool. You forget about season. You talk about the season where Spurs competed against Chelsea in 16-17. Do people know that was like the first season when mad numbers started getting done? Obviously, Jose Mourinho did 95 points in 2005. But after that, Conte got 93 points. Chelsea won 13 games in the league in a row.
Yeah.
That's a monstrous team. That's Hazard in his peak.
Demon.
That was Kante. That was a monstrous team. So you can't give me, but this is Man City we're competing against. If Man City were going to win every single game from now to the end of the season, I don't even know. How many points would they get? Is it 94, 93 themselves, 95 potentially? Pretty much similar, same thing. So I don't see how Spurs are the bottlers. But this Arsenal team is an admirable young team.
No.
The same thing.
You're putting, and I think ultimately it's because of how Spurs are framed. But I've got a bigger picture for you.
94.
If this was
if Man City win
every game, 94.
94, Spurs bottled the title where Chelsea got 93 points.
Well, this is where it comes down to me, right? Because ultimately, what you're saying is right about the Spurs and Arsenal thing. But let's keep on Arsenal right now, because again, like I said earlier, when the season's done, you look at the whole context. We will be in a position where those 3 draws won't be forgivable. They would have lost the league. And then we look at other key moments. The FA Cup game against Man City, playing the weekend squad, that kind of upset their rhythm after that. Europa League performances. That's what
a lot is riding on this Premier League. And a lot is riding on this Etihad fixture.
Exactly.
For me, I think City will go at this point now. It's hard to... I've been saying Arsenal all season. I've been believing. But at this point now, where they've given City Sharks, the Blue Sharks, they've given the Sharks, they've sniffed blood. They're gonna do their thing, I think. So I think it's gonna be tough. Listen, if Arsenal
your
go and win
sword,
at
man.
the Etihad,
Die
that
on your
is-
sword.
Aye.
If they win at the Etihad, that's a
Die
special
on your
result.
sword.
Midweek prediction.
Die
Let's
on
go
your
round.
sword.
I'm gonna be at the game.
Give me a prediction.
I'm going to go 3-1 Man City.
I'm going 1-1.
I'm going 2-0 City.
Oh, it's gonna be
Die
interesting.
on
game.
your sword, man. So, man, get back in blood.
Hey,
Die on
throw your
sword. That's-
predictions in so I
that's
can
my whole
record
thing.
them back later as well.
That's my whole
Yeah?
thing. Like,
Spin the block on some of you.
I don't have a horse in this race. I'm in the bottom half of the table. I'm trying to get safety on 40
Hey,
points.
top of the
I'm
bottom
linked
half,
with Pochettino.
Yeah,
Like,
let's get into that.
let's get into
What's
it.
going on with your manager search before we wrap this up? What's going on? All right, go
Yeah.
on.
Arsenal game. Mike AFC goes, since Holding has come to the team, Arsenal have gone from second in terms of XG against to 19th. It's no coincidence there's too much babysitting.
One man.
Wait, can I say something on this?
You know what
quickly,
Fergie used to say?
What?
Fergie used to say you can only have 3 players you can carry on a pitch at a time before it capitulates.
Yeah.
What Rob Holding is costing Arsenal the whole title race.
I wanna say something on this quickly because I had a few Arsenal fans talking about this, and I was saying, okay, so if Holding is such an issue and whatnot,
He is an issue.
no, but hear what
it's
I'm
just
saying.
not
Let me
that
finish.
big.
Let me land. If he is this massive issue, what can you then do to prevent that?
Arteta, I need to see you getting your tactical bag.
So
Is
that's
that not
number.
what they
That's number one.
signed Kivior for?
That's number one. That's number two. Number three is you've got a centre half that's playing at right back. They're saying that
Yimbo.
Arsenal fans are saying that, oh, let's get him out, let's put that. There's a reason why he feels like this is the thing to do, and okay, that's fine. But live by your sword, die by your sword. He can't be. He's obviously
That's
a
so
key
true
part
as
of
well.
this.
Why has Ben White not been shifted back to centre back if Rob Holding is this bad? Is Tomiyasu that bad?
He's
all of a
crooked. He's
sudden
crooked.
now?
No, he's injured.
He's crooked.
Okay.
He's
He's
crooked.
injured.
But there's other solutions you can find if you think that the centre half
So
position is
Tomiyasu
that.
the only right back at the club.
Ben White. Yeah.
Oh, he's actually a centre back.
Yeah.
That's poor.
But my whole thing about that is, if he was this detrimental, do they not think that their manager would do something to take that away? I think he would. So therefore,
It's not easy. Arteta's gonna have to get in his tactical bag.
listen, man,
Yeah.
son of Pep, man, we'll see in it.
Oh, wait,
What's
Ash's head is gone, bro. He goes, Kiwior is a left center back backup. Fuad, research, please.
He's still a centre back.
Yeah, he's left-footed, innit? Ain't he left-footed now?
Still a centre
What
back.
the hell?
It's because you know 2 left-footed centre backs.
Oh, you can't. But you could play 2 right footers. Shut up, man.
Yeah,
Let's
but
go. Let's go. Other super chats.
That's different. No.
Why can't you play 2 left footers?
Ilyas Ali with a super chat says
The hip rotation.
Oh, sick of you, man.
360. Ilyas Ali with a super chat says, last week it was Rice, this week it was Lavia, Wednesday it'll be Rodri. Partey, please rise.
Uncomfortable.
6s are eating, yeah?
Uncomfortable.
Absolute
Great player.
baller, that you, man. Absolute baller, Lavia.
Listen, man.
Hey, yo,
Come to
Partey
death
is
row.
true. Rise, please. Hey, yo, some of the comments that I was seeing about Partey from Arsenal
But
fans.
Arsenal
though,
fans
we
as
won't-
well.
I won't get into it.
We won't say
We ain't
less.
that type.
Say less. Say
But
less.
we're watching you.
Say less.
We're watching you closely.
Say less.
Watching you closely.
Just Waffling goes, I'm hating, but I need to see those Zinchenko huddles end. Put the ball in the center and get on with it, brother.
Come, let's huddle.
All or nothing
Hey,
was
hey,
last
hey, hey.
season.
I'm free. Stoppage Nation. 1, 2, 3. Stoppage Nation.
Hey, you know when you're at fault for the goal as well? and you're- Shut up!
I know my man was thinking, bro, here we go again.
Odegaard at the end told him, listen, lad.
I'm the captain. I'm the
real
captain.
captain.
I
Shut
will
the fuck
talk
up,
when it's time
yeah?
to talk.
Listen,
Let's
trench
go. Man.
hype.
John MCFC goes, to be fair to the Arsenal fan base, they wasn't parading. Channels like AFTV were with big reach. That's not the majority. A lot of people
No,
I know were
no.
humble.
Now, listen,
Don't blame
worry.
AFTV.
I'm
Don't
not
attack
letting you
AFTV.
lot do this
Don't blame
now where it's
AFTV.
our AFTV. You man were all doing up compilations.
Yeah.
You man were all doing up celebratory screen grabs.
Yeah.
It's not even just a saying, oh, we're top of the table. You know what you were doing. You know. Don't lie now and come start doing a moonwalk like you're Michael Jackson's, please. We all saw it. Just be humble and accept it now.
The title race ain't easy, man.
Listen, man. It's a race for a reason. It's never done.
Chud sent 2 super chats, and then this is it.
Go on.
Oh, there's actually one that just came in. J. Ashley Martin says Arsenal equals flirting, Spurs equals harassment.
It's true.
And then Chuds 101 says, LOL, loud majority hype. The season's not over. Etihad soon come. We will be there. And then he also says, comparing City and Leicester, you know.
I didn't compare City and Leicester. Again, Arsenal. Why didn't Arsenal win that league?
Listen,
Can anyone tell me why Arsenal didn't win the 15-16 Premier League season?
Hey, that most recent super chat that came in is hilarious.
Zinchenko thinks this is Remember the Titans.
Hey, that's one of my favorite films of all time.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't know you're into films like that.
Yeah, Remember Titans is probably in my top 3. What do you say? What do you say?
Listen, yeah, that's my favorite thing. Hey, yo, listen.
That's in my top 3.
Chelsea thing, because
Yeah, let's wrap this up.
the manager search thing is concerning. It's concerning, and ultimately, what it boils down to is we're in big Chelsea are in big trouble. We're in big trouble.
And you're going for Spurs and sloppy
Do you want Poch?
leftovers.
I'm not convinced by Poch. If we go for Poch, it doesn't. Where I think we are and what the appointment of Poch will be is 2 different places for me.
What?
As in Poch coming in.
What's bro gotta be speaking about,
bro. Mace talks in tongues,
bro? What is my boy talking about,
I don't want Poch.
Oh,
When
you
Poch
don't?
came to you guys had to use that just that put pieces together and struggle, and then get this thing going and whatnot. So what? He's gonna come and do that with 40 man in the change room and whatnot. I don't think Poch takes us back into title contention, and I don't think he builds us something in 2 seasons that gets us there as well. Like Chelsea need to be back there like that. Like
With who though?
this is the question.
If not him, then who?
I've told you guys I liked Enrique, but that seems like it's not happening. Nagelsmann, I wasn't convinced on. Like the options are limited, and then so when you start looking at all of these, like not in between coaches, but coaches that have this sort of identity or something, I think it will take another season of a lull for Chelsea before we get anywhere.
Has there ever been a club that's ever been like out of managerial options?
Bro, I don't know.
I actually think Chelsea might reach that stage, you know.
I mean,
The way
Poch
they've gone
seems like he's
through
gonna
chopping
take
and
it.
changed managers. No, I mean Spurs. The thing is I feel like a top club.
He's explaining.
A top club. What do you mean by that? No, but those aren't like we're going for Fonseca. I'm talking like a top club, man. Stop bringing Spurs into this. Like, shut up. Stick to the 1s and 2s, man.
Listen, I heard the point you're making. I think with Chelsea, it's the thing where Chelsea's always like a volatile. You don't go into Chelsea thinking they're going to be there for 6 years. You get you're deep. I don't think you don't go
I'm heated today, man. Sorry. I'm gonna take it out on someone. Don't worry.
You don't go into Chelsea thinking that you're going to be there for like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
And then you now bring in this Bowley dynamic where it's like, raw. This guy was going to tell me I do my job. It's not worth the stress. I think that Chelsea are going to turn into that job's going to turn into a poison chalice if we're not careful.
Hey, Allegri.
So, but who do you want then? You don't know.
Enrique, but no.
Oh, yeah, but Enrique, you know, they apparently had too much demands.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like any top manager is going to be like, I need you to let me cook, and I'll tell you the ingredients I need. Todd Bowley can't come in the kitchen and say, you know what? Well, my mum makes the jollof like this. I need to do that. This is not American sports. This is football. So,
Boy,
we'll
what
see how
about
it goes, man.
what's his name? Eggbali. Is it not?
Yeah.
That's got
You got it right. That's why I was laughing. I was like, yo,
Yeah,
I know you shook that you got that wrong.
Eggbali he's ducking. You know, I actually didn't know he's co-owner.
Yeah, but then
So Todd be getting all the heat. Eggbali just hiding in plain sight. Bro, Eggbali rise, please.
Listen, Arab privilege.
no,
They
but,
wanted to be like the sheiks, innit?
no, but Egbali's doing what the owner should do. Like, just go and get busy. Todd is out here being elaborate.
Eggbali's every step up is next to him, every single picture.
He's like flips.
Nah, yeah,
We don't
see,
talk
there
too
we
much
go,
about the
there we
partner.
You
go.
don't talk too much. But yeah, no. Honestly, we'll see how it goes, man. I think it is like a mad situation. Let's just get 40 points. I would laugh if we beat Arsenal.
Get Jose, man, get Jose.
You know what?
Get Carlo. I think you guys should get a little Carlo,
I've
do a
said-
little 1 year thing. But
No, not Carlo. I said Jose. I think he's the only one that will work. Jose is a stern voice, a respected voice. I think all of those young players in the dressing room respect him. What he's doing at Roma as well now could potentially get top 4 in the Europa League if he comes with that on his back.
You know what? We might be in Europa
Back-to-back
Conference next
European
year.
trophies. He comes back and he's like, "Oh, what? Chelsea, you man are in Conference League.
Let me win it again.
Let me come win
Let me
this
get one more.
again."
Let me get one more.
I'm the
for you.
first ever
Let me get
winner.
one more for you.
I am not the special one. I am the triple one. 3 times I've been here.
Listen,
I'm
yeah.
telling you.
You're selling me still. Let's go champs and duds, man.
Hey,
What are we thinking?
dud.
Go on.
Thomas Einspiel Tuchel. Step forward. Yeah? Out of the Champions League.
It's Einspiel.
I don't know if that's
Man
his
said
middle name.
Frankfurter.
The Sri Lankan Schmala.
Blaswitz.
Nah, out of the Champions League, losing in the league, out of the
Second
German
league.
Cup, all within the space of 3 weeks. Brother,
What did
you
you
were
do?
meant to go there as an upgrade.
What did you do with your time
Nagelsmann.
off?
Lord have mercy, man.
What
Is
did you
this
do
what
with your time
Chelsea
off?
fans have been crying for all this time?
What did you do with your time
Hey,
off?
hey, lights are on Tommy again.
What did you do with your
Lights
time
are
off?
on Tommy again. That's my dad this week.
What did you do with your time off? Your players even fighting each other, man.
Bruv,
Got players fighting each
ride a
other.
skateboard into work, mate.
It went from treble to potentially no trophies.
It's uncomfortable.
That's uncomfortable. So, Dud, has there been? I don't know. I don't think there's been no studdery.
Dalot posted you apparently.
No
Dalot
way.
posted you apparently.
Dallo posted who?
You apparently.
Stop capping on me, man.
That's what someone said. But go on.
Come on, people, man. You guys be capping on me, bro.
Hey, what? Hey, what? Cam's made it to the story, you know. Diego Dallo. Hey!
Hey guys, it's been a good episode. Hey, it's been a good episode. I'm out here.
Hey!
Listen,
Say swear! Hey! Nah, this is too mad! This is too mad! This is too mad! If you lot knew how early this guy bought Dallo stocks, if you guys knew
They said-
how long he held those Dallo stocks,
Dick riding is crazy.
the AF, the pioneers.
come on, man.
Hey,
They said we were a bunch of gangsters with microphones.
This is what we do.
They said we were a bunch of gangsters with microphones.
hey, Dallo cosign, crazy.
This is what we
Crazy.
They
do.
said we were a bunch.
AFs, the guy in global.
They said we were
They're
gangsters
going
with
global.
microphones, man.
This is what we do.
They said we were gangsters with
Where's my
microphones.
boy Dallo?
Let's carry on anyway.
Where's my boy
Any
Dallo?
chance?
Is that your champ? Is Dallo your champ?
Is Dallo your champ?
Hey, that's like, I'm the fucking champ. I'm the champ. I'm the champ.
Yes!
I'm the champ.
Talk your shit, homie.
Champ of the
Talk
week.
your shit,
Talk your
boy.
shit, homie.
Champ.
Yeah!
Yeah.
Influencer!
Influence.
Tell him!
FA Cup final shit.
Culture!
Come on, man. Say, I had a word with my boy. We talk. Come on, we reasoned. We reasoned.
Hey.
We reasoned.
Oh, don't kill me.
Come on,
That's
man.
funny.
Come
too
on,
funny.
bruv.
No.
Today's price is not today's price.
Real
No.
talk, man. Done well for a couple of internet gangsters, you know. But
Look at that. He said, good energy. Come on, man. That culture energy. That culture energy. You get me?
nah, big up, Reggie. Don't leave me hanging, though. Don't try to nudge you, bro.
Oh, come on, man. My guy, bro.
That's too funny.
Come on.
My champ, Wrexham officially promoted.
Hey.
Hold tight, Paul Mullen as well. Bad boy striker, bro.
Hey, Ben Foster as well, man.
Yeah, Ben Foster went there, but Paul Mullen, bad boy striker.
I got one.
Go on.
Eduardo Camavinga.
Yeah.
All right.
Speak on it.
He's unreal, man. He's
I should
unreal.
be happy with this
Guys,
one.
the
Yeah,
guys are
shout-
good, man.
shout
I can't lie. I went to the game. I watched. I said, you know what? His watch is real. His watch is very real.
Yeah,
It
bro.
doesn't make no TikTok.
Rolly.
Like it's like his
Yeah,
watch
man.
is.
It's making TikToks these days too, bro.
Hey.
I'm talking about TikTok. Come
Come on, man.
Facebook.
Rollies
No,
don't
no.
tick-tack.
Nah, Camavinga's watch is certified. He has the paperwork. He is a real
Yeah,
player,
man.
man. He's so
Real
sick.
dog.
And I like that he came out and he was saying that, yeah, listen, man, me and Shumeni were boys. If he plays, I'm happy. If I play, he's happy. Like, hold it down because, you know, the Blacks in Madrid, I like that alliance. So hold tight them. I've got another one, actually. I've got Declan Rice and Paqueta as well. They're rising when their team needs them still.
Hey, I put Paqueta in court for this specific reason.
Yeah.
I said to you, last 10 games,
Yeah.
you are on remand.
Yeah.
Can you rise and save your team? Because this is what Tevez did.
Yeah.
Great South Americans, step up.
Yeah.
So far,
He's
you're
doing his
stepping
thing
up. Well
still.
done, do your thing. This
He's
is
stepping up.
what we asked for.
Stepping
51 million. Club
up.
record signing. This is the least we can expect.
Yeah.
Shame
I
on
expect
yourself.
it.
How about
I
that?
expect it. Do you have any duds?
So you got
You know what? Nah, champ. Wrexham FC. Ryan Reynolds.
I just said Wrexham, man.
Sorry, I was in a.
Dallo hype, man.
man.
Dallo got fucked up.
Man came
Yo.
with Wrexham AFC. You know that the BBC thing? Wrexham
Look,
free.
he's gone back. Look. ADHD, attention span of a goldfish. Yo, wrap it up, man.
Hey, people, if you guys fuck with me, go run up that post that I just tweeted on Twitter. Go run it up. Go and run it up.
For real. Go
Real
run
talk.
that
If you,
shit up, man.
if you vibe with me, go run that up,
Real
man.
talk. If you
Go
guys know where
run
we were
that up.
coming from and the studios we were recording in, to this guy being with Diego Dallo, this guy being on every single streaming platform ever, me doing what I'm doing, go and support everything. Honestly, go and support that post, man. Go and be real love in the building. But listen, man, duds, I don't really have any duds, you know.
I think, champs, I'll give Newcastle. The way
Yeah,
you
good shout.
blowing us
Good
away
shout.
in 20 minutes like that.
What do you mean,
Like, you let your nuts hang, for real, for real.
You're the duds,
Top
innit?
4
Yeah.
duds, we are.
Yeah.
Champs,
Awful.
I got to give
Is
Newcastle
that
as well.
tap 4 race done then, yeah?
For me, I never really saw us. I said Harry Kane was the only kind of lingering hope keeping us there, but even he got his today and we're still not there. So,
I hear it.
that's done for us, man.
Random one, I put a tweet out saying that Declan Rice is one of the most impressive like club captains in the Premier League to me. Because he's young, he literally rises for that team.
Real men.
It's a weird question, but in terms of like club captain in the Premier League, like is he for like in terms of like what the club stands for, importance, being like a star player, pound for pound,
Yeah.
like he's probably their best player.
What do you mean?
Come on,
Like,
man. Listen, you see, when I put
think pound
stocks
for
in
pound-
people, they rise.
I think pound for pound, yeah, when you break down like a captain in terms of like your importance to your team, like are you like the best player and whatnot, what you mean to the club and everything, he's pound for pound, he's up there.
Yeah.
This is a good episode for a bonus.
I'd say so.
But let's wrap this up.
But listen, man, like, share, subscribe, go and run up Cam's
Aye,
post on
Arsenal
Twitter.
duds as well. I think they can get away.
Guys, go run up that
Three draws
post
in a
on
row.
Twitter.
3 draws in a row.
Listen, man.
Come on, man.
Arsenal, Fuad's giving you duds.
Yeah.
I'll co-sign it. I'll back it. Why not?
man.
Like, share, subscribe. Listen, content's coming out this week. Important PSA. Make sure you support on all platforms.
Yeah.
Go on like the
Important,
TikToks.
important,
Go on
important.
like the individual Instagrams because there's
Important.
content coming out from all angles, everywhere.
Aye,
This
nearly-
guy is dropping stuff. This guy, he lives in the studio. Man said, without an arm and spit, he lives in the studio. I'm doing mad stuff.
Yeah.
This guy's FTBL's head.
Right,
I don't know, content creator.
On, 10K on the IG as well.
Nearly on
We-
10K
we've
on the
been
IG.
building
Go and
Yeah.
support that.
minute.
TikTok. A lot of you are on TikTok. Obviously, we're not too old. We're on TikTok too. Go and support that.
Bro, just go on every everywhere. We're all the same names on
Go
all
and find the
platforms.
link tree. All the links are in our link trees.
All the same platforms. Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. Let's get up on all those platforms because some stuff that we put on Instagram we don't put on Twitter, we don't put on here.
Go and
so
follow
guys,
it
go
up.
and run up every single
Major
platform.
PSA. Please
That'll
tell
be
your
a big
friends
one.
as well. Also, as well, if you listen on audio platforms, go and give 5 stars. 5 stars, no 4. Go and give 5s. Also, as well, very, 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 very important. Keep hitting the like button. Keep sharing. Keep subscribing. Notifications. Let this be the first page when you go on YouTube. Bam. See CultureCams. Bam. Third. Bam.
Hit the likes,
Make
man.
sure,
There's
man, hit the likes.
1,500 right
You
now
know what to
inside.
do.
There's only 564 likes. Hit the likes on your way out,
You know
people.
what to do, man.
It's not a crime.
We
you know what I mean?
appreciate you guys. Listen, man. Thank you for effing with us. God bless.
Yeah.
We'll see
Follow
you during
those
the week,
individual
man.
profiles.
We're out. Peace.